Alright everyone, welcome back. It's another day playing Honkai Star Rail. I am Potentate, or go by Poe, and thank you all for joining. Let's make sure, and just let me know, just like my friend who popped by to watch some of my stream, if my voice is too loud or the game audio is too low, just let me know. Or hopefully I'll notice it in editing. Another big thing is I'm uploading my first Twitch archive onto YouTube today. So if you also want to pop by YouTube and give me a follow, that would be very appreciated. But if not, here we go. So if you remember in my last stream, well, first of all, some maintenance I did get the monthly pass, because there are way too many husbandos and waifus that are coming up that I definitely want to get my hands on. Second bit of maintenance since you last saw is I do log in daily, even though I don't stream the game daily, so that I can get daily login rewards. And since I unlocked the calyx flower, that spider lily looking thing, I have also been using up all of my, whatever these are called, trailblaze power. I've been using all of this up so that I can... Are there stuff to find here? Oh, just level rewards. I do use up all of it, and so that's why my character— oh, wrong one. That's why my character right now is, if I can pick the right menu, is now level 12, because I believe where we left off was level 10, and that also gave me this new achievement, which I waited to unlock on stream. 2 new achievements, okay. Defeat 3 enemies with windbreak damage, and defeat 20 enemies with windbreak damage. Oh, seems I got a third one. And then log in 7 days in a row. So this is day 8. Nice. Alright, and then we are back on the express because I wanted to get my Trailblaze level rewards, because I wanted to see if we could finally get that.
There doesn't seem to be anything special going on. The coach is quiet. Maybe a little too quiet.
See if I can finally get that 10 pull I need. What is this? Fuel. Oh, okay. Because as you can see here, we're at 5 out of the 8 needed to get my last pull, which will allow me to, or my last warp, so that I can get the beginner's guaranteed 5-star. I'm really hoping, as in the title states, I'm really hoping that I either get Welt or Japard. I like both of them. Otherwise, Clara... No, not Clara. Himiko, sorry. I was looking at Clara's name. Yeah, I would want Himiko. The others are okay, but I would really prefer one of these 3. My friend really, really badly wants Himiko. I think it'd be very funny if I ended up getting her. Okay, so last we left off, we were on the planet, and we had just met this guy.
Yeah, we're just storing a few relics away from prying eyes. Nothing serious. If it weren't for the uncompromising nature of our civil service, there'd be no need for secrecy. So where about you guys from anyway? I don't mean to pry or anything. I just care about my friends. No pressure.
Alright, and this is one thing I had, like, I was thinking about, was like, why can we not tell him that we're from off-planet? Is this like a, Star Trek kind of deal, where you're like, if they don't know about off-world, travel, you're not allowed to tell them about it? That's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise you'd just be like, oh, we're from off-planet. Our ship broke down, so we wanted to see if we could find the source of the disturbance. Like,
Rule number 7, never leave a footprint. I have my own special technique called invisible snow walking. Helps me throw off pursuers in no time.
that doesn't sound good, everyone.
Who are they?
You remember the Silvermane guards I mentioned? That's them. Help me, old friends. I don't want to be caught.
It's the suspect and his accomplices. Arrest them!
I feel like accomplices is a big word, considering how we just met this man in a snowbank.
Or never. Over to you, dear friends.
Hey, where do you think you're...
Okay, so some battles, the auto battle gets turned off.
Let's go. Tough luck running into me.
No interest in conflict.
Turn it up.
Ayo! We're very excited. This is, my friend, one of my online friends says that this looks like a reskinned.
The Silvermane guards order you to relinquish your futile resistance.
That Sampo cheated us all. Wait till I get my hands on him. Relinquish your resistance.
Alright.
So I'm a criminal, huh? Forget Sampo. Wait until I get my hands on you.
I see March 7th has a temper. My friend really wants Japard because they state that Japard looks very much like a, like if you just put some ginger here on his, reskinned his hair, he would very much look like a child. Alright, E. Alright.
My tempo. My turn.
Alright, let's throw up
With
some
me out here, how can we lose?
shield.
On my command. Take courage. Clemency? Never heard of it.
Okay, so I don't have any,
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
Pretty good crowd today. Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music. Conquer us all!
instant recover from break. Come on now.
And the prime suspect? The one with the blue hair?
Apologies, Captain. We lost him during the pursuit. We can't find his footprints.
No matter. We have his accomplices. He'll be close by, plotting his next move.
It's a bold assumption that we're accomplices just because of the fact that we happen to be near him.
As in forever. I'm not trying to talk our way out of this, but we're not friends with that scoundrel. Did you see how fast he ditched us? We rescued him from the snow out of the kindness of our hearts. We had no idea he might be using us to get past you. Are you really dumb enough to fall for his...
I'm a captain, not an adjudication panel. As a Belobog citizen, you have the right to defend yourself, but that can only take place under the scrutiny of the architects. Not now. Take them away.
I'm pretty sure according to that thing we were just doing that we could beat them up, so...
But we're not from Belobog.
Photos?
You're a genius. Great idea. You've probably never seen what your planet looks like, right? I took this one. Behold, Yarilo 6.
You mean to say that this white ball that's here, that's our home? How can that...
It is said that a long time ago, strange visitors from beyond the sky would visit us here. But that after the eternal freeze, the blizzards made passage impossible. And Belobog would cease to witness such arrivals.
Yeah, because, like, saying closed or any of these other two options would not be good proof. The photos are the best proof we could do.
But these people are...
This decision is beyond us. If what they say is true, then only the Supreme Guardian may decide their fate. Our job is to present them before her. Nothing more. Outsiders, follow me. Belobog lies beyond this blizzard.
Oh, I love this back panel on him. It looks really cool.
Welcome to Belobog, the city of preservation.
It's a little dour. Oh, I like how it kind of looks like a giant clock. Like the inner workings of a clock.
Hey, it feels like it got a bit warmer.
That's because you're in Belobog, the last bastion of humanity.
Last bastion?
He seems very
100
proud.
years ago, monsters from beyond the sky set the world ablaze. The land was turned to scorched earth, with raging infernos, billowing towers of smoke stretching beyond the horizon. In the midst of the conflict, the eternal freeze descended without warning. Suddenly, sweeping winds brought blizzards which buried the invading legion. Belobog was all that remained. The steadfast architects built this city. Under the protection of Klapoth, the preservation, Belobog remains forever warm in the face of unrelenting cold.
He's sure saying some weird stuff.
Marked change in tone. Sounds like he's quoting from a historical record.
I'm delighted by him already.
Uh-huh. So why is he telling us all this?
You wanted to know.
Oh, March 7th. No, my butt. This is literally my reaction right here. Kalius's reaction is me. Oh, we got a... Oh, there's a few things going on. Alright, we got an achievement. Let's do that one first. You've endured the snowstorm and arrived in Belobog. Cool. Alright. We got a message from Pom Pom. I feel you haven't been back to the Express since forever. I was literally just there. It has been a while. When someone says something like this, it's essentially that they miss you. So you need to acknowledge that time has passed enough for them to miss you. So we'll say this. Has been a while. I'm starting to forget what Pom Pom looks like. It hasn't been that long. Come back when you've got the time. Pom Pom has some things for you. Oh. Well, you all know me. I immediately like to do side quests, so we'll do that immediately. Side quests first. Alright, I've seen a lot of people gushing about Pom Pom's appearance, and there's something about Pom Pom's face that's just I do not like. I love the rest of them, but there's something about this face that just it's wigging me out. Tickets, please. Oh, Kalis, you're not the same person Pom Pom first met. What's happened to you? This might be because we leveled up Kalis to 20 out of 20, so he needs to ascend. Growth spurt. Opinion. I'll say growth spurt. A conductor's eyes never lie. Kalis, you are not the same person that you were. The same thing happened to March 7th when she first went out trailblazing. How can Pom Pom put this? It feels like you're more mature, more stable. Man, I hope the Stellaron's more stable. More reliable. Pom Pom is sure of it. Oh, the hearts are cute. Pom Pom got some small rewards for your growth. Skip the formality. Take it all. Pom Pom will keep an eye on your progress and keep preparing some small rewards for you. As for what those will be, you'll find out soon enough. Oh, that was... Okay, that was it. Alright, let's see if we can level up any of our light cones. And I can't level up the people yet, so let's level up this one. Cool. Alright, and then I've got everyone maxed out to 20 right now, so that's good. Yeah, starting to get some cooking materials. Still missing 3 of those. Alright, is that all you needed, Pom Pom? Should I talk to these people? Is there anything new? Kalius, you're back. We narrowly avoided disaster and now we're home. We almost didn't make it back. I feel like I'm not supposed to have interacted with him, so we'll do this. It's a shame I couldn't go with you. Kalius, you're welcome to come and talk with me at any time. Although I cannot travel with you, I can at least share your adventures. There's something I want to ask. What do you want to know? I'll do my best to answer your question. About companions. About everyone in this mess? Who would you like to know about? Okay, no, I've already done that. There's nothing new. Alright, so back to this area. I think, well, considering that this is where Japard is, that I probably was right here-ish. Oh, it just pops me out right where I was. Alright, follow Everwinter Night. Follow Japard Landau? Ooh, that's makes me think French. To the Guardian's residence. Bad news is that your buddy, I don't feel like he's our buddy, Sampo, has abandoned you. As Paimon does in Genshin Impact, he gets the ugly nickname, and the internet has apparently agreed with Shampoo, so from here on I'm calling him Shampoo for daring to abandon us, and left you to deal with Japard, the Silvermane Guard Captain. The good news, however, is the opposing soldier is actually quite flexible. You successfully persuade Japard by making him believe that you are from a world beyond the sky, which is true. He promises to escort you to the Supreme Guardian at Bellabog. Everything looks perfect, there's no reason for doubt, and all you have to do now is follow the guards. Alright, we will do that in a second. Let me... oh.
I saw strange creatures outside the city. They must have come from a tear in corroded space. A fragmentum, correct?
How do you... That's right. Out there in the blizzard, there are still many threats, including the monsters you saw. The Silvermane guards are continuously engaged with the enemy. I'm afraid the situation is bleak. After your meeting with the Supreme Guardian, I would like to consult you on this matter. We're lacking in intel.
Don't worry, my man. We're literally here to fix your problems, because otherwise we can't leave, so no worries on that matter. Alright. Cool. Can I... Okay, you'll stay there. I wanted to see if I could run around now. Alright. Where to start? Kid that idolizes Japard. Same.
The guards will notice if we stray too far off. We should stick close to Japard.
Oh, I can't explore currently. Alright. Good to know. I guess we have to go with the main story cast for now.
We're here. This is Klapoth Fort, the heart of Belobog and headquarters of the architects.
I think I've read something about the architects before.
Under Klapoth's impulsion, the architects constructed Belobog, thus protecting the spark of civilization from disaster and the eternal freeze.
Because I think the architects, if I remember, were what was before the IPC, the International Preservation Convention? I forgot what IPC stands for. The ones who started out helping Klapoth get building materials that Klapoth doesn't even use, and then became a giant intergalactic association of merchants, that one. But I think they were originally the architects because that's what they do, is they get stuff for Klapoth to build.
To show our reverence, we named this fortress after the Aeon themselves. The architects, under the protection of Klapoth, have continued to lead this city forward, repelling all manner of disasters.
That sounds suspiciously like something someone could take advantage of, because that sounds a little too blindly loyal, but okay.
This fortress is also the residence of the Supreme Guardian.
If this entire top bit is someone's house, I would have already, like, rioted.
The Supreme Guardian?
The leader of Belobog, elected and appointed by the architects.
But not by the
Supreme
people.
Guardians have watched over this city for generations, sheltering the people from harm.
Okay, but how do people become architects? Because who, like, if you get to, who votes in the architects that then vote in the Supreme Guardian? Again, very concerning. I feel like it might get dicey.
The current Guardian is Madame Cocolia Rand. Every major strategic decision is issued by her.
Whoa, she sounds like a big deal.
I will now bring you to see Madame Cocolia. Please, have your words at the ready. Her time is precious, so she prefers concise communication.
We're gonna see her right now? Can I at least find a place to freshen up first?
This is the most important thing, just like, I'm imagining I'm being taken as well. This is fine, but like, I don't want to get in trouble if they're the ones in charge, because otherwise we're gonna have to fight our way out, and that could be an issue if we're just constantly having to sneak around.
Rest easy. The Madam Guardian doesn't care about formalities. Not to mention, you've only just arrived. It would be unexpected if you were familiar with Belobog customs. I've dispatched a messenger to send word. Madame Cocolia will be aware of your arrival. Come with me.
I can see people who want to cosplay him, or it's gonna be a nightmare. His armor is...
Sacrifice. How can you...
Oh, I've seen all over the internet people want this character, Branya, which I'm guessing is this one. Apparently she's like a really good character to have on your team.
You may leave, Bronya.
Bronya.
Yes, Mother.
She's got the villainous curls over here.
Madam Guardian, I have brought 3 outsiders to see you.
The messenger informed me. Well done, Japard. You may leave.
But cosplaying that armor's gonna
Visitors
suck.
from beyond the eternal freeze. Or perhaps I should say, from beyond the sky. No? I am Cocolia Rand, Belobog's Supreme Guardian. I'd be grateful if you could tell me why you have come.
Don't doubt our identity. Do you believe we come from beyond the sky? Well, this is a good question.
Do you wish me to doubt it? Or perhaps you're not confident in that identity yourself? No, I do not doubt it. I can see that you are not from this world.
What is this ice that she has on her skin like this?
The architects remember the history well, else we should forget it. I know that in the distant past, before the Eternal Freeze descended or the Legion invaded, this world was once prosperous beyond measure. An eon connected our planet to other worlds, and we discovered the endless possibilities of the boundless universe. We also came to know of Klapoth, the Amber Lord. Under their attentive gaze, we built the city walls, so do not be surprised. For 700 years, the architects have received no further communication from the stars. But I knew of your existence. Tell me why you have come.
This makes no sense. This might make them mad. Because outsiders offering assistance to people who have not asked for it can be seen as, like, haughty, and so, like... But then if we say we've come to trailblaze this planet, that means nothing. To me or to them, so...
We came here for something known as a Stellaron.
Thank you, Dunhung. It's a better answer.
Stellaron.
Objects that fell from the blue on separate worlds. Their appearance spelled disaster. Many of the planets we visited have suffered their effects. You mentioned invasion by the Antimatter Legion. Soon after their arrival, this planet suffered the Eternal Freeze. At the same time, the phenomenon known as fragmentum space corrosion began to occur. Correct?
Correct.
We don't know this for sure. This is just an assumption from all of my reading and from what they've stated. This is an assumption. It's not a fact. This, we're pretty sure is a fact, and then the fragmentations we know is a fact. But most likely the Eternal Freeze is a product of the Stellaron because of the fragmentation, so we'll say this one.
Stellarons bring about different disasters on different worlds, but every world seeded with a Stellaron will give birth to fragmentums. You can see us as kind-hearted interstellar public servants, lending a helping hand to any world affected by a Stellaron.
That could be considered condescending, but okay.
Your analysis of our current circumstances is clear. We have indeed suffered the disasters you speak of, some of which prove vexatious to us even today. But why should you care? Even if this Stellaron you speak of did bring about disaster, I fail to see its connection to you. I don't believe that anyone would go to such lengths to help a world unrelated to them. Unless they had something to gain.
This is where you would state that the, our ship cannot, like, function because of the Stellaron, so we need to get it.
You're right. Our reason for coming here is not purely selfless. If we don't seal the Stellaron, we cannot leave this planet.
Help you is condescending. That pop, by the way, was my chapstick. So please help us locate it. It's like a I scratch your back, you scratch ours kind of situation.
If we can get rid of it, your world will be safer too.
You know how to seal the Stellaron.
We have the relevant means.
Can I absorb it? That's my question. Can I eat it? Can I eat it? Can I have it? Can it boost my my abilities?
Very well. I believe you. If our present situation is truly the result of this so-called Stellaron, then your arrival is the hope that Billabog has waited 700 years for. I am willing to assist you in any way possible to help you locate the Stellaron.
What is this ice on her? I really want to know if that's like a condition from the Eternal Freeze, kind of like in Genshin, in Sumeru, you have the disease that Kale has. Kale. So I'm curious if this is like a condition too.
It's getting late, and you must be tired. I will arrange for you to stay in our most comfortable hotel. Rest there and get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow at noon, I will dispatch someone to escort you here, and we can discuss this urgent matter in greater detail.
She seems... I was expecting corruption because of how he described it, but she seems pretty chill so far. Like, I'm not getting bad vibes from her at all. I really want to explore, just because of the way I play games. As my friend stated, it's collect everything that's not bolted to the floor, and if you can take the bolts, take those too. But we'll thank them for now. Etiquette, we won't push the look around for now.
It should be me thanking you, visitors from beyond the sky. I too need some time. I will go over our records for anything that may be connected to Stellarons. Please excuse me for not escorting you further.
Stella being star and Ron's... I'd have to look up what that stands for. But I know the female character is named Stella. I just missed something important. He turns, he heard an interesting noise. Well, she might be evil after all. Never mind.
Of course, I understand. Do not worry. I have a way.
Well, I take back everything I just said. Maybe she is corrupt and evil.
It seems that the Supreme Guardian holds you in high regard. I have received orders that your movements are no longer to be restricted.
Impressive or reasonable? She seems reasonable.
You know, I didn't think things were gonna go that smoothly.
I'm afraid I still have duties to attend to. I must return to my post. I hope you enjoy your stay in Belobog.
Wait, can you recommend some sites? It's not that late. We want to take a look around.
Well, I'd say that Golden Theater and the History Museum are both worth a look. However, you'd need a pass to get into the museum. I recommend you visit Everwinter Monument first. It's Belobog's most symbolic landmark. And if you enjoy music, you could head to Neverwinter Workshop. You can sometimes catch an outdoor performance there. The artist is... you'll see. Oh, and if you're staying at Goethe Hotel, please avoid the alley that runs next to it. The one with Silvermane guards stationed there. It's started to be affected by corrosion recently, so it's been sealed off.
This is the same as the hotel that's in Genshin.
So the corrosion is inside, you see. That's a grave situation.
Yes, we're mounting a resistance as we speak. I must leave now. I hope all goes well for you.
Okay. So we have the main task, which is essentially a walk around. So if I head this way, I can explore all of that, go this way, and then go back to these two in the middle. Okay. Which will allow me to see everything.
Worth our while.
Oh, well there's level 13. And that's what the treasure chests look like now. Alright.
Say, the officer that you were speaking to, was that Japard Landau?
Landau, that's how you say his name. That's correct.
Oh, I knew it was him. I wasn't brave enough to go over. I should have tried to stop him. Captain Japard is wise and decisive and of noble birth. I'm sure he'd help me. I'm getting ahead of myself. I already missed my chance. Back to the queue, I guess.
Worried citizen.
What am I gonna do? Only the Madam Guardian can help me.
Aggrieved citizen.
This queue isn't moving. How long are we going to be here?
And aggressive citizen.
Hey, you got a problem? If you want a petition, then start queuing. Don't even think about pushing in.
Okay. Interesting. A street? I can interact with the street lamp? Street lamps haven't been turned on yet. Oh, so maybe that's only like a nighttime thing? Trash. Again, I have seen a bunch of people talk about trash cans, so I gotta make sure I look at the trash, at least, to figure out why everybody's talking about it. We got a new one, let's see. I do not know where that one went. It disappeared. Empty benches look lonely on the busy street. In other words, street lamps make a wonderful roost for birds, but in Belobog they stand all alone. Alright, so now that we have looked at that, he doesn't say anything. A mailbox. Seems like a mailman just finished with it. It stands on the street alone. Can't interact with that street lamp for whatever reason. Another one. You're curious to know whether street lamps also rely on geomarrow and give off warmth. Locked gate. You have no idea what's behind the locked gate. Alright. Do I have to come back out here? No, I can go around. So let's make sure we talk to anyone that's Peter. As you approach, you feel the warmth gently around your legs as if an affectionate pet were rubbing up against them. Another trash can. You've been staring at it for a while, but it's just an ordinary trash can. What do you want to do? You try to hold back the urge to open it. As you can continue staring at the trash cans, they seem to turn before your very eyes. The edges are no longer rusty and dents are smoothed over. From under the lid comes a faint golden glow, sweet and alluring. For a moment, the trash cans turned into treasure chests. And it's happening again. You take a deep breath and open the lid. It's empty. Wait, you reach deeper into the trash can. There's a piece of iron scrap at the bottom. Your hard work paid off. You finally found the treasure. You look back at your companions and see their complicated expressions. You don't need to explain. I get it. They're just too great for you to exist. Are we a raccoon? Oh my. There's no turning back once you've walked down this path. Oh my gosh, no wonder people were talking about the trash can. Okay, wait a minute. Should we change it to the trash can icon? No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it as our guy. No wonder people were talking about the trash cans. Okay, this is a street lamp. Alright. Let's go down here. Apparently a store over here. Vending machine. The machine rumbles. Okay. And these reset. These do not. Disposable shield, healing spray, bread soda, and some recipes that I can get in my next level up. Hopefully that'll be soon then. This probably connects to that other bit. A child. Oh, I see a treasure chest over there. A guy. Sticking to the walls to make sure I try and get everything. Another child. Street lamp. You're curious to know whether street lamps... Okay, so I think I'm starting to hit everything I've... Okay, I actually was able to catch the name of that one, so we'll be able to read it instead of missing it, because last time we missed it. Oh! Are they divided into separate sections? Wait, how am I missing so many of these? I have combed over the space station. Huh. Okay, well at least we found out where this one was. There are 87 hot... I want to say hot diggity, but I feel like that makes me sound very out of touch. Alright, Bellabog Academy's midterm exam paper. Failed exam paper. The owner of the exam paper seems to be a boy named Luthen. Class 2, Year 6, named Luthen, grade 35. Grades 35. Ooh, 35? Ouch. Fill in the blank. In order not to damage the geomarrow lamps in the city, one needs to pay attention to prevent brains, the wires, from circuiting. Particles such as rock salt and yellow sugar, all of geometric forms. People call such shapes, is it like is cubology what they meant? Captcha. I didn't say don't leave any gaps in the fill in the blank section, but not for you to do brain twisters in it. We can use the distance and blank of Bellabog's Academy's teaching building to determine its location in the city. The distance and size might be a good answer. Color. Banners, maybe. Rust is produced when metals have it says oxygenized. It's when metal comes in contact with the air. Frostweave salmon will swim to a place with suitable temperature to pass the winter. When the water starts to cool, the way of passing the winter is called hibernation? Multiple choice questions. When observing an aroma ether glass, the correct order is from the outside to the inside, from the inside to the outside, from top to bottom, from bottom to top. The fruiting process of red sunsets is flower, pollination, fruit, flower, fruit, pollination, pollination, flowering, fruit. A. The tip of Olm's toes can suck onto surfaces and are useful for crawling in caves. These structures are called suction pads, grappling hooks, paws, or horizontal pleats. Probably suction pads. They aren't cats, because they answered C for the paws. The mouth parts of an adult funeral worms are needle-formed, proboscis-formed, chewing mandibles, siphon-formed. Luthen, I did say to pick C if you don't know the answer. At least you listened to that. That's commendable. But can you actually have a look at the question? Which of the following items is soluble in water? A geomarrow, rock salt, jam, or honey? Probably the rock salt. Because salt in reality is soluble in water. True or false questions. Touching the city's wall feels colder than touching a tree because the walls have a lower temperature than the trees. The tri-toothed beast from the Middle Ages became extinct because it could not adapt to lower temperatures and reduced food source. Geomarrow is formed after the corpses of ancient animals were transformed within tectonic plates after a few billion years. People feel hot near the geomarrow because of the heat conduction. And then her is a bunch of things like this. Animals that can live in the water and on land are called amphibians. Catcha, even if you just do it for show, can you write some false answers to show that you're actually thinking and comfort your poor teacher? I have known students like that. Alright, do we have part 1? We do have part 1. Okay, opening date number at the Golden Theater, roadside picnic. Anton's family was having a simple suburban roadside picnic, but ended up bringing bizarre treasures to the Mole Kingdoms. A big pot that can feed an entire clan, a red flower that can eat everything, and a strange black slate that gives odd oracles. An amazing conflict broke out between the Mole Kingdoms because of these treasures, and when Anton's family left, the Mole Kingdoms that fought over the ownership of these treasures returned to peace. Producers, actors, okay. Interesting. Let's see. Bench, another trash can. Never seen trash this clean. In fact, you've never seen anything this clean before. The trash can is like the universe's very incarnation of purity. Maybe we're going too far. Stroke the trash can, investigate carefully, close the lid. Investigate? Take a good look at it. The inside of this trash can is dust-free and perfectly dark. It's the kind of pure darkness that surrounds 9 in a nebula of dark matter. It focuses your attention and your eyes become fixed on it. You see yourself. You see March 7th and Dunhuang. You see the fate of the Astral Express and the end of the future. You force yourself to stop staring and everything disappears. It feels like a fantasy dream. What's up? What's in there? What's with your expression? Nothing, you decide to tell her. What is wrong with the trash cans and or our character? Another bench, another person. Theater posters. You notice Mrs. Trude is missing from the poster. Perhaps her skeletal appearance, frightening hair, long nails, and tattered clothes aren't the best recipe for a box office hit. Okay, something else to read. Let's see. Beneath a white cloak, an absurd rumor passes through the room as an unexpected guest arrives in the noble's feast. She wears a mask chiseled out of ice and a cloak the color of hoarfrost, bringing horrid death everywhere she goes. New theater manager tries hard to preserve the nobles, and yet when an opera opens, a guest in white appears in box number 5 without an invitation, and the century-old tale resurfaces in the grand gala. I wonder if this is based off the, what is it called? The Red Mask, or the Veil? No, it would be the Red Mask. The Veil is a very different story. The Red Mask, where like a person shows up to a noble's party wearing a red mask, and every single room they go through, people start dying. I did not read any of that. Even though you've never seen this play before, you feel a sense of deja vu. Perhaps the same fairy tale is being written by the different playwrights from different worlds. Interesting. I cannot talk to this person even though he's making hand-waving gestures. The last one who did that, I could talk to them. Okay, that one is up and running. Nothing to see here. Oh, I could talk to this one. Don't leave me alone. Take me with you. I've been waiting for you to show me the ring. Love is our destiny. Say the word, baby. Can I help you with something? I'm just passing by, don't mind me. Do you have a problem with your throat, or just got startled by what sounded like things going through the sewer? I'm just passing by, don't mind me. Don't mind, you know. I don't like being stared at when rehearsing. What did we just get? I got an achievement. How do you perform in front of your audience, then? Why not use the rehearsal room? How would you perform in front of people, then? Rehearsal is different from the real thing. You look a little strange. You're not some journalist who knows where you are. You're not some journalist from who knows where. There we go, are you? I don't have any exclusive insider information to reveal. But it doesn't matter either way. Tamelia, the Golden Theater, is always open to being interviewed. Is there a problem? As you can probably tell, my voice is rather low-pitched. The director is not very happy about that, so the theater hired a voice actress to assist me. She is impeccable indeed, but I too oh my gosh, I cannot read today. Professionally trained, never missed a day of practice. Now I have to lip sync and act as if I'm in a silent field. I can't help but think that maybe one day they'll get rid of me altogether. What do you think I should do? Work on your acting? Find a project that suits your voice? Need to find a way to get your voice assistant fired. I would work on your acting, because then it wouldn't matter what your voice sounds like. Or they would, like, change your role to better fit your voice kind of thing. That won't do. People come to musicals for the songs. How embarrassing would it be if a musical performer can't sing with their own voice? It's ridiculous. I'll be like thespians who can't remember their lines and need others to read out the script for them. Why not try acting in a play? Both are theatrical arts, true, but the skills they require are hardly transferable. Plus, musicals have always been my passion. I don't want to simply give up like this. I still want to give it a go. Maybe if you're that would be an alto versus a soprano singing, because if your voice is lower, then why not find an alto role? I'm afraid it's not that easy. You might not know this, but musical artists only look good on stage for a very limited period of time. Once their physique changes or their voice becomes coarse, they have to bid the stage farewell. They'll call it spending more time with the family, but everyone knows it's the end of their career. There are other types of musicals you can try. The theater major is convinced that the audience is only interested in love songs aimed at teens. Oof. That's when you fire the theater producer. But it's possible that people's tastes have changed and the management failed to grasp it. You know what? I'll see if I can bring some artists together and try some new things. How does that sound? You don't want to get them fired. That's rude. No worries. Thanks for listening to me. I feel much better already. Please keep this conversation a secret. Alright, let me look at that. And we got an achievement. La 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 la. Land. Obtain the score for the phonograph. Okay, so that's a new phonograph for our train. Oh, another trash can. A few tins labeled Bella Log sausage, an unopened bottle of Jim Roger brand soda, copy of the Crystal Daily with the Supreme Guardian Cocolia on the front page, surrounded by Silvermane guards, crumpled paper ball, some withered flowers whose thermal dome is broken. To understand a city, go through its trash cans. Oh, another achievement. Get Jim Roger bread soda from a trash can. Another gate. A nervous man. A quiet and foreboding wrought iron fence blocks the way. Quiet isn't the right word to describe it, because at this moment you seem to hear a faint muttering. Venture no closer, the iron gate seems to say. Then again, the voice could come from the nervous man behind the gate. You approach him to ask why on earth he is playing ventriloquist for the gate. Venture no closer to me. Either go along with it or point the man out. We'll go along with it. It did not work. I'm simply too nervous to have noticed you. I'm truly sorry. Are you on the lam? Am I that attractive then? And what are you nervous about? What are you nervous about? It's the back alley. Have you not heard? Some ghostly goings on have been happening in the back alley recently. The back alley is probably the one that they were talking about that the fragmentum is occurring in. You don't have to be polite. Oh, thank goodness. Ghostly goings on? I'm not too sure about the details, I just know that they're among us, and they've gotten their hands on some of the residents. What back alley? Are you not a resident of this neighborhood? The back alley is an alleyway behind the theater. It's where we poor people live. Why don't you leave? It's all because of this gate. The neighbors and I wish to leave this place too, but we can't seem to get it open at all. All we can do is come out occasionally for some fresh air. It's getting late, I'll have to return. Just my luck, the blasted back alley. The man up ahead mutters some confusing words as his head shakes incessantly before disappearing into the shadows of the theater. What a strange man. I wonder if we'll run into him again. Interesting. I'm a little concerned that that means that they're like locking people in with the area that's getting fragmented. Because that would be bad. Oh, trash can. There is a leisurely elegance to the trash can. To exude commanding confidence. It may have something to do with the letter fragment in its possession. Oh. Let's see, bookshelf. Let's read it. Miss Lila, I hope you will keep this letter safe. Maybe it will lift the curtains of a nice story on everybody's lips. The month that we've been together was far too short. The first thing I noticed about you was your beauty. You are more beautiful than most other women, but not quite as beautiful as my first love. How rude. I would have thrown this up, like torn it up and thrown it away as well. But that's not important. Your real charm is your down-to-earth work attitude, which is the quality of a woman in Belavox should have in this new era. Throw it away. Throw the entire man away. These trash cans seem to be otherworldly. I'm sure they'll eat him. Whatever hybrid Cthulhu monster lives in these trash cans, feed him to that. The earnest way in which you prepared for the interview articles is charming. I was captivated by your clear organization and thoughtful questions. If I were conducting the interview, I would have been more thorough, especially with the improvisation and humor. In the future, feel free to communicate with me, and I'd be more than happy to give you a constructive feedback, making your work easier. I heard your magazine, Voyager, is a young media company only recently established. Plenty of challenges await in the future. An unwed woman like yourself. Feed him to the trash cans. Please, feed him to the trash cans. We'll surely need an outstanding partner to face those challenges together. Allow me to reintroduce myself. For 3 consecutive years, I've been voted as the backbone of the magazine Crystal Daily. Many colleagues call me the one who is most daring to speak out. Of course, in our line of work, that is a good quality to have. In my spare time, I participate in various sports. I'm exceptionally good at long-distance running, and have won many rewards for the suburban snow cross-country. Why do I feel like this is Shampoo? 'Cause he's stated that he's good at running, and he has the special, like, snow walking ability. and he seems like a flirt. Why do I feel like this is shampoo? It's giving me shampoo vibes. Does it say a name? I don't see a name. However, if you do like me, please... Did I just... he didn't even say his name. No. Alright. I'm just assuming it's a he, too. Okay. However, if you do like me, please don't become too attached. Fate guides our love, and we must do our utmost for Belobog. What kind of love would require us to sacrifice our job? What kind of love would have us be filled with guilt and shame? Please respond within 7 days of reading this letter, otherwise I will be too busy. Throw the entire person away. Whoever they happen to be. Oh my gosh, is this a Doctor Who reference? I might be wrong, but I feel like that's a Doctor Who reference. More theater posters. They said the same thing. Let's get this treasure box. I feel like this is a Doctor Who reference. You've only visited the administration district so far, so you start to wonder how big Belobog really is. How many people rely on phones to contact each other? Looking at this phone booth, you feel like you could transform into a superhero. Oh, so it's a, that's a Superman reference, of course. This is a phone booth. People use it to contact friends from afar. This is a phone booth. You find it novel because you were born in the mobile era. You stand next to the phone booth and start thinking about the fantasy shows you used to watch. You can't help wondering how ripping your shirt off in a phone booth would feel. Okay, so they're going for more of a Superman thing, but I'm getting Doctor Who reference from that. Okay, this person we can talk to. Ah ha 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 la 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 la. Sorry, I didn't notice there were people around here, and I'm not disturbing you, am I? You have a great voice. Okay, I shall continue warming up my voice. Oh no, the play isn't open to the public yet. I better not spoil it. I'm so forgetful. Anyway, the play is still in rehearsal. I'm the leading actress's voice. Oh, you're the voice for the one that's in the far background. If you like the song, we can meet again in the theater. You are as curious as a child, but I don't have much to offer. Although Tamila's voice is a bit deep, her acting and singing skills are not much of a problem. She's got a lot of fans. It's just, she seems unhappy with me, which I'm a little confused about. Why don't you perform on stage yourself? I've been thinking about that lately. I want to set foot on a new path. I've loved singing since I was a little girl. I can sing all day long, no matter what the song is. Did anything happen? I don't think so. We teamed up a few times and it always went well. As for outside the theater, well, Tamila is a star after all, so I really don't have much contact with her. I don't know what she could be mad about. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's probably just because we have different perspectives. We didn't really get jealousy, just more of annoyance. Don't let it bother you too much. Am I supposed to do all of them? All the options to potentially get, like, achievements or anything? I just don't like some of the options they give us, so I just choose not to click on them. Okay, another play, Once Upon a Snow-Sheep's Country. The new Supreme Guardian was checking historical records in the Klypoth Fort on a snowy night. The history of the architects constructing Belobog was passed down in every generation. However, on that night, these stories leaped off the page before the new Supreme Guardian to recount past tales. They reconnected the resolve when the city was first founded, and the unexpected wars and the confusion and anxiety not recorded in history. Their happiness and troubles were all displayed on this snowy night. Okay. Bunch of different plays, so plays seem to be very popular here, which if you're stuck in a city with nowhere to go, it would make sense that the arts would be very popular. Another play? Yep. Oh, there's a poster for this one. The beautiful girl Alicia asks for a fire from the aloof witch Mrs. Trude to warm her poor family. On the way to the old witch's place, Alicia met 3 knights. The witch referred to the knights as my dawn, my sun, and my evening. Mrs. Trude wanted Alicia to complete 3 adventures impossible for normal people. With the help of these 3 knights, how would Alicia complete the witch's difficult quests? That one sounds like, if anyone's seen the Bartok the Magnificent, which is like a side story for the Disney movie Anastasia that's about the bat. He goes to meet Baba Yaga, a witch who lives in the forest, because he needs a potion, and she has him complete 3 tasks for her so that he can get the potion that he needed. It's a very good movie. I definitely suggest it. It's very underrated for a Disney movie. The red mailbox with a corner of a white letter sticking out. The letter is unfortunately stuck. Push it in. You touch the letter lightly, it tips over immediately and disappears into the dark of the mailbox. You feel like your karma, if that even exists in the world, just improved. Oh. Praise of high morals. Just a normal mailbox. Alright, trash can. I have a job for you. If we find out who wrote that letter, I'm feeding them to you. You just gotta make them disappear. 2 trash cans. 1 for recycling dry garbage, 1 for recycling wet garbage. So where would you throw a coconut husk? Probably still in wet garbage, because food scraps, I think, are also in wet garbage. Nope, although the coconut husk counts as fruit waste, it's hard and doesn't crumble easy. As such, it doesn't go in wet garbage. You immerse yourselves in the joys of sorting garbage. Okay. I really enjoy the amount of nonsense and just extra the producers have put in this game. Oh, collect. Time change notice. Time change notice for oratorio rehearsal. To all members of the Galliards Chorus, the rehearsal for next Tuesday has been rescheduled due to the Golden Theater heating device maintenance. The adjusted details are as followed. The chorus rehearsal, originally scheduled for 9:30 on Tuesday, has been changed to 13:30 due to maintenance. So 1:30 for those who don't do military time. Lunch will not be provided for the rehearsal. The orchestra will not participate in the rehearsal because the instruments have been moved for maintenance. Due to soprano Tatiana's accidental injury and hospitalization, the soprano Celine will be taking her parts in the play. As the date for the official performance draws near, rehearsal time will be extended by 3 to 4 hours. The theater has arranged for transportation to ensure all members reach home safely. For those that live far from the theater, you may apply for accommodations at the Goth Hotel. Go with. It's not how said, but we'll go with that. Please inform each other, make sure everyone has read the notice, and make the proper arrangements accordingly. I wonder if I can go to the 2. We're gonna pop by them real fast to make sure they've read the notice. Problem? Okay, so you... No. Let's ask Celine real fast. Are you here for my singing again? That won't do. You need to enjoy the performance in the theater, or are you here for something else? Nope. Okay, so I can't tell them about the notice I found. Good to know. Just checking. Alright, so I think that's everything that's up here, so let's check out there. We'll circle back around. A car? This is a car specially made in Bellabog. The hood is letting off dry heat unique to an engine that's going at full throttle. That's sorry. Sorry, I'm just parked here for a bit. I'll move it right away. Please don't give me a ticket. Be quiet and act like a professional. Confidence is key. You can get away with so much. Well, say something, please. remain silent. Ah, you're killing me here. I gave you credits. Is that not enough? The resident in front of you swiftly hands over a hefty amount of credits, then bolts from the scene without a trace. That isn't what you meant at all. Right or wrong, you did receive some unexpected cash. Let's say you've accepted the fine on behalf of the guards. That's hilarious. Okay, another street lamp. I feel like Alright, so where did I come from? I think I came from up there, and then I hugged this wall to come in here. So I've not done anything on that side. Let's check out this real fast. Oh, trash can. An unusually large paper ball. Upon unfolding, you find it contains wrinkled scraps of paper. I hereby tender my resignation on this, my final day of work. I hereby tender my resignation on this, my final day of work. I wish to be frank. Generally speaking, my job is uninteresting, and so... job is uninteresting, therefore has no meaning. Forget it. Time for work. A few typos away from a new career. Blockable line. Wait, is that definitely a person? Don't tell me it's a statue. Oh, for the love of, looks like it really is a statue. As you approach, you see a light flicker in the guard's eyes. Phew, still person. A Silvermane guard is keeping watch on the downhill road. The Silvermane guard stares at you coldly, conveying a silent order to go away. The guard seems unhappy at your arrival. Apparently he didn't welcome your approach. For some reason, a sweet female voice pops into your head. How about we explore this area ahead of us later? Oh, Paimon. Oh, Paimon. The Silvermane guard is keeping watch on the road. They have to stand here all day, must be bored to death, not to mention that it's really bad for your knees. Silvermane guard is standing still like a statue. You can't help wondering whether the deployment here isn't the result of an argument with someone further up on the chain of command. You've begun to fill in the life of the Silvermane guard for yourself. Their graduation, deployments, meritorious contributions, youthful brilliance, how they offended some loser or got demoted. Wait, is that definitely a person? Okay, we've gotten through all those. Treasure! Gimme. I cannot talk to them. Nothing here. Oh, nope. There is something here. Heater. Something to read. Let's see. Tales of the Winterland. We only got part 2, so we will wait till we get part 1 to read that. Alright. Another street lamp. This is a street lamp. Yep. Lila. Oh, this is the one that the note was for. After finding out the main characters in Roadside Picnic are a bunch of gophers, you can't help but doubt the playwright's taste ever so significantly. She was the one with the note. You look special. Do you mean I'm very handsome? What's that supposed to mean? Handsome? Well, besides the hair, you appear to be normal. By the way, you dress isn't the norm around here. Those patterns are rarely seen, and there's no trace of petroleum jelly on those clean fingers and face of yours. Ah, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. My name's Lila. I'm a writer for the Voyager and also a zoologist. Oh yes, I've been rambling on. You probably haven't read the underground Encyclopedia of Zoology, right? These interesting books on zoological science can't be found on the market, so here, take these 2 books and read them when you have the time. I want to ask, what creatures are there in Belobog? Cats and dogs. There are wolves and birds in the wild, that's about it. You'll have to check the museum specimens to see what other kinds of animals there were in the past. I heard that, oh, this child is adorable. Belobog had domesticated bears and dire wolves were in the wild. They're no longer around, though. But I believe there are other animals out there that survived the eternal freeze. I just have no way to prove it. Now I have no choice but to study humans. Did you know humans in Belobog have at least 3 different origins? But you don't seem to belong to any one of them. That's why I'm so surprised back then. You're right, I am an alien. Haha, I must have been researching too much. Ever since I got my hands on that book, my head's been in the clouds. What book? This underground encyclopedia of zoology was apparently brought back from the underground by a Silvermane guard. It talks about a lot of strange creatures. Ever since I finished the books, I can't stop thinking about how these animals must look like. I really want to know more about the crystalline lizards, geomero olms, funeral worms. I want to know what they eat, how they reproduce, everything. Sounds like a zoologist major. Why don't you go look for them? I've been outside the city a few times for journalism, but there wasn't enough spare time to do ecological research then. But recently I've met a benefactor who's willing to finance my expedition as long as his requirements are met. He's even willing to take care of the expedition permits and formalities as well. Also making preparations for the expedition. Oh, that's not the person you tore up the letter, is it? That's all. If you see any rare specimens in the future, remember to tell me about them. I hate that these all say quick read. They're like at least a page of text. Alright. In the old legends, crystalline lizards were thought to be soldiers of the Mine Mama. It really says that. Okay. Crystalline lizards is a cold-blooded reptile found in the underground mines. As it matures into adulthood, their leathery scales will produce crystalloid, which will vary in color depending on the region, temperature, and health of the lizard. Experts have pointed out that crystalline lizards expel geomarrow and other minerals from their salt glands. Alright, so this is that question on the test we read before. The answer would be false, because they were stating that geomarrow was made in a similar way that fossil fuel oil is made nowadays. And if geomarrow is made from these lizards, then the answer would have been false. Crystalloid is a byproduct of regulating the osmotic balance of body fluids. The randomness of the crystalloid color has sparked a wave of collectors who are willing to pay exorbitant prices for the wild crystalline lizards with a rare color. This has caused an ecological imbalance in the mines. In the past, many pest outbreaks have been tied to the decline in the crystalline lizard population. In response, Belobog has prohibited the hunting of wild crystalline lizards. The alkaloids in the body fluid of the crystalline lizards are often used in pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceutics. This body fluid is dissolved in water and made into a spray. When the spray is applied to a patient, the droplets reach the pulmonary alveoli via the upper respiratory tract and are shown to drive out mineral dust in the lungs via the bronchi, preventing the dust from entering the intestinal, lung, and lymph nodes. Oh, that's really nice. Researchers, however, do not understand fully how this process works, thus it is common for underworld doctors to breed crystalline lizards in captivity, but they don't have any value to the collectors. Geomarrow Olm. Amphibians survive solely on pure energy. Geomarrow Olm is an amphibian that burrows near the underground water sources. With white and pink feathery scales, its highly developed hearing and smell make up for its degraded vision. It is able to survive both on land and in the water. According to the Geomarrow Development Group, the population of the Geomarrow Olm were always found near large mines for reasons unknown. People assume that these olms fed on geomarrow, hence the name. Biologists have pointed out that geomarrow olms live in an environment lacking in food. This severe environment has caused them to evolve into organisms with superior metabolism and antioxidant capacity. They are capable of surviving without food for up to 10 years. Woo! Due to this, their slow metabolism and limited movement, however, it is scientifically reasonable to assume that they could survive more than 15 years without feeding. So experts believe that it is more likely that their feeding behaviors are hard to observe rather than draw the conclusion that they feed on geomarrow. The geomarrow olms by nature are afraid of and reside away from humans in darker and more moist areas. The geomarrow olms do not pose a threat to humans. Funeral worm. When it is time to bury a corpse, these worms never pass up the opportunity for a feast. Oh, I wonder if these are the worms that were on the space station in the trash cans. Funeral worms are a subspecies of Coloptera commonly found in underground caves. They range in length of up to 3.5 centimeters with an average length of 1.2 centimeters. They're usually black and orange in appearance. Their flat, soft bodies allow them to crawl under animal carcasses. Oh, it sounds like flatworms, the parasite. No thank you. After discovering a potential animal carcass, they gather in swarms around the body. They spend a great deal of time confirming that the animal is dead before they dig the ground beneath it to decompose it. Funeral worms observing a dead animal is similar to attending a funeral, hence the name. Some biologists have suggested that their unique habits may be related to creatures who barely move, like the geomarrow olm. If they misjudge prey, they might become prey themselves. Funeral worms are one of the most important parts of the underground ecology, breaking down carcasses and feces of a wide range of animals. They are also commonly found in cemeteries and bat caves. Whew, alright. Gotta get through all this reading and we'll be back to exploring. Oh my goodness. Alright, lots of reading. Alright, crystal scorpions. Crystal scorpions don't have crystals. Isn't this common knowledge? Adult crystal scorpions are almost entirely covered with highly transparent carapaces. Growing up to 5 to 6 centimeters long, the body is clearly segmented into head and thorax and the abdomen. There are 6 pairs of appendages in the head and thorax. The first pair is used for feeding, the second pair of threatening crab-like claws for attacking and defending, and for tactile purposes. The remaining appendages are all used for movement. At the abdomen is the scorpion tail, which is bent forward and poisonous. The venom is not lethal to humans, but it will cause a burning sensation. Man, I wish our scorpions were not harmful to humans. That would be delightful. The transparent carapace, for which the crystal scorpion is famous, turns out to be a mimicry of geomarrow and not some expensive crystal. While geomarrow dust is processed from the body, it assimilates with the hard shell to form this unique transparent shell. With its help, crystal scorpions can feed on crystal lizards who live near geomarrow. During the period in which crystal lizards were hunted by collectors, crystal scorpions were also hunted. As a result, their population was reduced significantly to the point where they're now considered a rare and endangered species. They are traded at high prices in underground markets. Mad moles. I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I had the misfortune of stumbling into their burrow while exploring the dark depths of a cave. Mad moles have stout, powerful limbs and well-developed claws. They are good for digging. However, they would much prefer to use their head and teeth. The eyes are completely defunct with little to no vision. They have no outer ear, and the ear shell is a small fold of skin around the ear hole. With short tails, they are slightly longer than their feet. The moles are usually bare or a little hairy. People often thought that they fed primarily only on plant roots. It is now common to acknowledge that they are omnivores. Ecologists have discovered that mad moles have a number of distinct characteristics that are detrimental to the species' survival. Now researchers believe that the rapid spread of fragmentum is the root cause of these characteristics. Mad moles appear to be more sensitive to a specific substance in fragmentum than other species. As a result, they have become extremely aggressive, with the ability to swarm and devour mammals several or even dozens of times their size. Then it is the never-ending hell of survival. Mad moles rarely leave their burrows but keep expanding them because of 2 factors. First, mad moles have a severe sensitivity to specific substances in the surface atmosphere, making it impossible for them to survive outside their burrows. Second, the fragmentum hastens the deterioration of their limited habitat. As a result, mad moles must keep searching for new habitats underground. If an unfortunate creature were to fall into its burrow, the moles would eat it. If there are no such creatures, they would eat each other. Oh wow. There will always be a massive pile of bones in the mad moles' burrows. However, their remarkable reproduction capacity more than compensates for their very low survival qualities. Even if the mad mole population is artificially reduced to a very small number, it can still quickly recover from after a few months. There was once an unfortunate miner who used to hear the mole scurrying behind the wall every night as he slept. He would experience chronic hallucinations and nightmares. Even when clear-headed, he would mumble in a language that no one could understand. Fortunately, the large burrow was connected to the stove in the kitchen. One night, soot, which hadn't been completely burned out, caught on fire and exterminated the mad moles. The miner was saved from a gruesome fate. Telltale Heart reference, maybe? Okay, the rock crab. That sounded so wrong. The rock crab. There we go. I apologize for how hard of a time I'm having reading today. There's no way this critter could have nearly destroyed Belobog. The rock crab, a mix between a shrimp and a crab, likes to live inside of rocks, and many of them use hard rocks as a shell for protection. According to research, the rock crab originally lived along coastal regions. They were oceanic creatures that would dig through rocks to lay their eggs, then return to the sea. After the Ice Age, the rock crabs bred in large numbers and moved underground to the warmer Belobog, causing massive tunnel collapses as they migrated. During this period, they were known as tunnel rock crabs. However, for some reasons unknown, their population declined significantly, almost to the point of extinction. Nowadays, rock crabs are considered a gourmet meal in the underworld. Although the crab is rare and difficult to obtain, the delicious texture of its meat makes it a star ingredient in the underground. People usually steam the crab, but there are many other variations are loved by residents. Stir-fried crab meat with hammered peppers, salt-baked rock crab, and much more. Rock crab powder can also be combined with a variety of other ingredients for rich flavors. With the dwindling rock crab population nowadays, many people doubt the old rumor that every family eats crab. Okay, there we go. Got through that one. Invisible barrier that I cannot cross. I lied. Okay, this is where I came from. because we kind of got teleported from here and we missed everything in here. Should we take a look around or just go back in the city? Apparently a monster right here. And bop, bop.
Move carefully.
Rules are made to be broken.
Watch this awesome move!
This sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Let's rock! Here!
Take more than that.
You! Watch this awesome move!
You can fight it or rock with it.
Here! You can't run!
Rules are made to be broken. This sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
If we can just get like one more attack from Dan Hyung, we'll be able to defeat this one. Nice. Formidable foe.
Worth our ride.
Alright, we got a light cone there. I'm pretty sure I have this light cone. There it is. And we cannot superimpose it anymore. So with that maxed out, that means I can use any future ones of this light cone. I can probably use for as materials to level up other light cones. Oh, I see a treasure chest that Sir Shampoo has not gotten yet. Only 2 more of those in the... I see it! I see it! We're gonna act like we don't see it so that I can go through this area. Get that. Boost. Heal up. Hit that. Alright. Hit that. He's up and pop! So it can't run away from me.
You can fight it or rock with it.
So it seems like I can't auto battle like quests that have to do with like main story quests. Alright, we did not give it time to run away, so that's good.
This will strengthen our position.
I've no interest in conflict. This sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Let's rock!
Rules are made to be broken. This sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Burn it up! You're annoying!
Okay. See, we have like people or some like people like things that are covered in this frost, and she had frost starting to cover her, so I'm really curious if maybe that's like something that happens over time if you live in this area, is you just start getting covered in ice. Let's grab that. And we'll go back in the city now that I have all of the treasures from this area.
I'll need to record today's notes in the databank.
Alright. Oh. I've also heard some rumors about some posters, but I haven't seen any posters yet. Okay, we did see... Oh, a book. Suburbia. Fashion brand Suburbia. Richard and Diana, formerly the lead designers of fashion houses In the Stars Industrial Threadwork, and founded the brand Suburbia in Fortification Year 694. Suburbia embodies the meaning of being outside the system. This poetic name represents the two designers' understanding of Belobog's life and working style. Belobog is a place overloaded with orders. In the city, no matter who you are, if you express your thoughts, dress the way you like, or lead a life with individuality, you'll be deemed a dissenter by everyone. We sensed this conflict and wanted to use our designs to fix it. Suburbia has been focused on creating unique outfits that also suit the taste of young people, whether it be eye-catching leather jackets, colorful synthetic leather, phenomenal vest sets, goth long coats, or famous Belobog wide modified military uniforms. Through all these styles incorporate the current mainstream street fashion, and there's also a lot of original suburban element in it. So this must be where shampoo shops, considering that man has a lot more skin showing than I would expect someone living on a ice planet to do. But so did the Guardian Supreme. I was like, don't you get cold? That was very young brand Suburbia confidently uses the core element of traditional culture. Other than that, we've also seen the two designers' greater ambitions. We're trying to create a space-time relationship with this world. Not only should we have Belobog's present, we must also contain everything in Belobog's past. To be honest, we prefer the period in history when the Eternal Freeze had not yet occurred. The world was separated into different regions, each with its own style. Suburbia doesn't exist just for Belobog, but also for the areas buried in wind and snow, explained Richard and Diana. Recently, this young brand cooperated with the Eldritch workshop for the first time, and began to collab fashionable line including leather boots, outfits, and accessories. Two brands used the blue color of Belobog as the design base, together with the retro patterns found in Belobog's picture books, and in combination with fashionable styles preferred by modern youth, such street punk and industrial. Eldritch workshop has been brought back both classical and new age fashion concepts to young people. Alright, and I've literally already forgotten what this person sells. Oh, I have not gone to them then. I don't think I've met you before. Is this your first time visiting a bookstore? Can we talk? Alright, let's hear it. What do you want to chat about? How's business? Not bad. Belobog is a lot of people who love to read, but it would be nice if everyone paid for the books they read. Do you have any recommendations? You've come to the right person. What kind of books do you like? Fantasy, science fiction, or mystery novels? I like fantasy. Fantasy, you'll love this one. It's about a traveler from a different world who's on a journey to find their family. There's Genshin reference. It's very popular among young people. I loved it. I'll leave you to your work. So can I just buy some books from her? I'll be here reading. Let me know when you made your selection. Well, we gotta buy both of them. So you have the tale and then you have the analysis. Okay, the tale, the mythological tale. What was it? It's like more like they said Yarrow, but Yarrow, god of spring and war. Purin, the god of thunder and lightning, and the one ranked the highest in the pantheon, is fashioned with a beard made of bronze and armed with a shield and an axe, while he uses to slay sinners and evil spirits. He hurls his axe at his enemies and summons bolts of lightning. very Thor-esque, before it returns to his hand. Very Thor-esque. Perrin exterminates demons that scourge across the skies with fiery arrows from his war chariot, what later became known as thunder and lightning to the world. Veles, a sworn enemy of Perrin, and previously also known as the god of war, now oversees the lands, water, forest, and the underworld. Veles takes a human half and a half snake form. Ooh, a Lamia. Lamia? I've always said Lamia. With horns of bulls on his head, a thick coat of fur, and a long beard. He herds cattle in the land of death while controlling wealth, rewards, music, and the night. He is an expert in magic and trickery, so that's Loki-esque. The design is not, though. Pursuing Veles across the earth, the enraged Perun cares not for the things that Veles shapeshifts to hide behind and strikes them down with indifference, even the humans. That's not great. But the shapeshifting's also a low-key callback. The mischievous Veles climbs through the damp underground to steal Perun's cattle, wife, and children. On the last night of February, Perun's 10th son, Urielo, was born. It was also the night that he was stolen and brought to the Land of Death, where Veles raises him. Land of Death is a lush prairie of eternal spring across the sea, where Urielo helps his foster father guard the cattle. Birds migrate to the land every winter. Urielo doesn't like to spend his life underground. He's the god of youth and life with the powers of reproduction and plant growth. The underground person stealing someone with these powers is very Hades and Persephone. At the end of winter, Uriel would return to Earth and use the full extent of his powers as the god of springtime and war to drive the cold and darkness away. This process was difficult but necessary to bring about spring to the world. Yeah, very Persephone. Like, she stays with Hades during the winter and the fall, and then she comes back to bring spring. Uriel was first noticed and welcomed by the goddess of nature and death, Morana, who is Perun's daughter and Jero's sister. The two quickly fell in love and celebrated their wedding in the summer. The sacred unification of Uriel and Morana symbolizes the promise of fertility and lush vegetation. It is also meant a temporary peace between Perun and Veles, and the late summer harvest would be successful and bountiful. However, Uriel was not a faithful husband. We must call upon the trash cans once again. In retaliation to his disloyalty, Morana killed Urielo and used his corpse to build a new home. Without her husband, Morana gradually became depressed old witch. That's very mythological tale. I'm sorry if you can hear my mom's dog barking. He's trying to tell her someone's at the door, I'm sure. Okay, the frightening and dangerous goddess of death would bring about a cold, bitter winter. Morana would die at the year's end, being reborn as Vesna. At the same time, Uriel was also reborn, and the myth would start all over again. The endless cycle of life and death continued for a long time, the unfaithful Uriel getting killed after the autumn harvest, and the lonely Morana dying at the end of the year. Two gods were reborn and fell in love again, ensuring the bountiful harvest every year. It wasn't until one year when Morana killed Uriel as usual, but the house she built was weak and collapsed. With no shelter in the frigid winter, Morana's anger could not be contained any longer, and she no longer accepted her fate of reconciling with Uriel every year. As the goddess of nature and death, she placed a cruel curse on herself. The next time she died, she would no longer be reborn as Vesna, the goddess of youth and springtime. The curse worked. This time, when Morana became a dangerous witch in her solitude. She didn't die at the end of the year. The cold and darkness raged on far greater than ever before, and it even continued to span across the following year. When Uriel was reborn into this desolate place, Morana finally died, never to be reborn. Faced with the ruthless winter, Uriel realized that he'd made a mistake. The spring would not come this year, and Uriel would not face the cold nights could not face the cold nights alone. In his desperation, Uriel decided to look for his father, Perun, chief of the gods, to seek repentance and forgiveness. Having heard of the story of the two, sympathized with his Morana, but could not accept her curse. Without spring, the world would slowly die in the cold winter nights. The wise Perun pointed out Uriel's sin of arrogance and prophesied, should Uriel once again be able to offer his eternal love and loyalty to Morana, only then will her anger be quelled. The proud Uriel fell into a deep depression, and the cold storm continued to rage on even till the autumn harvest. At the end of the story, the remorseful Uriel offers to sacrifice his reincarnation, swearing everlasting and deep loyalty to his deceased lover. Perun's prophecy came true. Uriel's remorse and longing turned into a warm and forgiving spring that covered the land and protected the people, enabling them to live happily and peaceful on in its snow-torn world. So obviously when she died, and then it became eternal winter, that is when the Stellaron happened, which is causing the winter in this world, but this is like the myth that explains why it's constantly winter, when they have the history explaining the seasons that they used to have. Alright, and then for the analysis by Chico. One of the earliest historical references to the god is in the biography of a diplomat from the Saya Kingdom, about 1800 years before the Eternal Freeze. On his expedition, he came across a tribe who happened to be celebrating the god of war, Yarroway. Experts from before the Eternal Freeze believe Yarroway to be the precursor of Yarilo. Around 1200 years ago, in the northern region of Nicetia, a festival known as Yarilo was celebrated in late spring or early summer. Groups of villagers walk among the countryside, symbolizing the return of the god back to this world. His return meant fertility and vegetation. Experts from the Eternal Freeze found traces of religious rituals in the honor of this god. The death of a god was seen as religious sacrifice and carries heavy symbolic meaning. Similar metaphors can be found in other mythologies. The bodies of the dead gods creating the world, the blood turning into rivers, bones turning into mountains, hair turning into forests, and so on. With the emergence of the Eternal Freeze, the world of the gods gradually began to weaken until eventually the house built from Yarrow's corpse could no longer support human life and collapsed, just like it did in the myth. It is clear that the myth's ending was influenced by the Eternal Freeze and the new religions. Before the Eternal Freeze, Yarrow was typically birth, death, rebirth, god of nature whose mythological cycle was the same as that of the crops in the northern region of Nicetia. From sowing to growing to harvesting, viewed as crop destruction. However, after the Eternal Freeze, the seasonal cycle was broken, replaced by Belobog's unique climate. In the myth, this climate change is explained by the household affairs between the gods. It's worth mentioning that in the story, Yarlo goes on a journey from the unfaithful bum to a loyal husband. By the end of the story, he sought redemption for Perun, paying a heavy price for his indiscretions. The change in Yarlo here were thought to be related to the changing lunar phases, a projection of human understanding on natural phenomenon. This understanding continued to hold after the Eternal Freeze emerged and people could no longer observe the moon's phase changes. There was a lack of understanding of such astronomical phenomena, so people were more inclined to draw a moral conclusion to the story. The god's endless cycle, birth, death, rebirth, was the price to pay for his love. Oh, my voice hurts from reading all that now. Alright. I got bookshelf. You spot the crystal daily. It's missing a few issues on the shelf. Can I get to the trash can? An overwhelming fishy smell emanates from the trash can as you remove the lid. Instead of fish, you find only a fish-related flyer. Is this how Synthesia works? Another thing for the bookshelf. Alright, the legend of the Snapper Jam Appetizer. The Eternal Freeze is imminent in Belobog has not yet been formally established. Under the command of the first Supreme Guardian, Eliza Rand, workers were summoned from across the country for the largest installation project ever in history. The enormous layer of insulation would prepare Belobog for the endless blizzard. At that time, a young worker by the name of Nicholas was good at cooking. Not only had he mastered all kinds of traditional dishes, but he also had developed many new ones. Every weekend, workers would bring over food to his home so that he could prepare a big meal for everyone. Every worker would leave his home satisfied with a full stomach. However, it wasn't long until he wanted to taste his delicious food during the work days. Is there any way to eat a delicious meal on a cold construction site? Food would quickly turn cold and hard due to the weather conditions on a construction site. It didn't taste as good as dishes fresh from the pot. The heating technology at the time also wasn't as developed. Smart Nicholas believed that this to be a major problem, one that almost all the workers would encounter. Solving it meant that he could help everyone. Thus he pondered, is there any food that can endure the bitter cold? Nicholas spent countless hours trying different dishes at home. He tried various combinations, but none of the results satisfied him. One day, mentally exhausted and hadn't realized that fried fish was already cold. On top of that, he accidentally knocked a fried fish into a pot, cooking it together with red sunset jam. By the time he realized it was already too late, he put the dish aside, ready to throw it out the next day. However, when he woke up the next day, he decided to give it a taste. To his surprise, it was delicious. He'd come up with an ultimate cold dish, one that workers could eat in the cold weather. Thanks to Nicholas's promotion, Belobog workers can enjoy a delicious lunch, motivating them to work harder. The news spread to the Supreme Guardian, Elisa Rand, who tasted his unique dish and praised his innovation. She named the dish Snapper Jam Appetizer. Afterwards, Nicholas made further improvements to the dish and is now the most famous dish for Belobog gatherings. There are scribblings on the page. What nonsense and fabrications! A novel? The Supreme Guardian's secret visit. It was around 100 AF when they cultivated the red sunset fruit for jam that could withstand the cold. So that's more useless knowledge. Nice. Alright. Signboard. You see the menu, Roger's drink, the taste for bread for the price of water. 5 shield per bottle. Okay, so we want to check here, because we've gone through all of here. So we want to check what that is. Oh. Oh, it's just the bench. Flower bed. A colorful flower. It looks pretty cheap. Ever summer florist. I did not mean to go in. What am I collecting? Oh, over here. Okay, honestly, there's so much to read. Florography manual attached to a bouquet. Each flower has its own unique story and language behind it, and different flowers are suitable for different recipients. Before sending flowers, you can refer to the following frequently used florography to cater to your specific needs. The marquise. Nobility, grace, completeness, beauty, affection, great charm. Marquise is difficult to cultivate and rather expensive in the past. There was a noble lady who squandered her family's fortune for this flower, and so came about its name. It's still loved by the upper class to this day, recipients high status, upper class individuals. First snowfall, pure innocence, beautiful memories, harkening back to times of innocence. It is said that long ago the first plume of snow every year was called the first snow, and it brought good harvest and joy. To this day, most of the people of Belobog don't know the real story behind the first snow. However, the beautiful memories symbolized by the flower continue to be passed down generation after generation, just as how it resists the bitter coldness. The elderly and young children. Summer shade, bamboo. Independent, strength, unafraid of hardship, and great preservance. I would give this to Gepard, probably. It is not technically a flower, but is still of great ornamental value. It is said that once upon a time an artist used it as a musical instrument, and it became, because of the sense of warmth invoked by its name, generations of great writers from Belobog have also come to favor it. Artists, people who like art. Ball peony. Patience and the great achievements, a moment of eternity and undying love. Ball peony is a treasure among flowers. It blooms once a year for less than a month. When the flower blooms, its beauty is unparalleled, deserving enough of its high value. There is an unwritten tradition in Belobog. If lovers proposed in front of the flowering ball peonies, their love will be everlasting. Solar flower. Warmth, unity, optimism, and yearning for a bright future. Even when it is in the dim environment, will grow towards the direction of the sun. Said to be Elysia Rand's favorite flower, which we know to be the first supreme guardian, is inspired by countless people with its inspired countless people with its sunny traits, and has always been considered a symbol of Belobog's warmth, suitable for most people, the first choice for official and business occasions. And then the rainbow, simple beauty and living in the moment. It is said that before the eternal freeze, it's just an ordinary curbside flower. At present, it is very common, but very few dislike its gorgeous colors. Cheap and suitable for everyone. We will give that to Shampoo. Artem, Dalmer, one is Frost, the other Flame. They both carefree and exploring the unknown world. They suffer many ups and downs, yet they are still by each other's sides. Ooh, Artem is such a gentleman. Who is Artem? The only Artem I know is from Tears of Themis. He is the perfect man. He is the kindest character I've ever read about. He has the right sense of humor. He's caring, thoughtful, and restrained. I'm also an Artem fan from Tears of Themis. Huh? Oh, I may have gotten a little too wrapped up in the book. Sorry for rambling on. Welcome. What can the florist Vasca do for you? What about these? These flowers come in a variety of colors and prices, but really they are all priceless. For example, this one is named Sunshine, is lovely. Its red and yellow colors make it look just like the sun. Just looking at it makes you feel warm inside. It's a great choice for a gift or even to keep for yourself. What do you think? Or do you want to know about other kinds of flowers? The Marquise. We read that. We read that one. Other ones, please. We've read that. We've read this. We've read that one. The one you just mentioned. Okay, we learned a lot. We got another book. Alright. Not one we can read yet. And we can't apparently buy anything in here. I would have bought flowers if I could give them to characters. That would have been nice. Alright, so we've looked through all of here. So let's go do the middle bit, and then we'll get this one, and do this bit, and then we'll come over and around. Oh, we can speak to this one. Young man, I've never seen you before. This is my first time here. I was in the administration district. I've never seen you before either. You've never seen me before? Never seen Wallace? Then you must not be local. I am Wallace Cambridge Limestein. I am the 25th head of the Limestein family. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Kalius. Good, I'd say we're now fairly acquainted. Remember, if you ever need someone in the administration district to get something done, just come to me. By the way, if you find anything or anyone interesting, let me know too. Life is all about having fun. Money is no issue. Curiosity fuels me. What a fine day it is. Is there anything you want to know? I have some questions, sure. Are you rich? Oh, I wouldn't say I'm rich. I'm comfortable. I have a couple of properties in the administration district that require maintenance. I have to pay taxes for them, but I'm far too lazy to rent them out. I mean, time is money. Besides, they're full of priceless relics. Then you are rich. If you have properties that you don't even rent out, and you use them as storage, you're rich. You're into ancient relics? Not exactly. I just like to own them. A rich person. For example, a while back Lord Simon told me he obtained a particularly rare gold watch, said to be a relic left behind by the third Supreme Guardian. How could I miss out on such a rarity? So I offered him 3 houses for it. I think I get the picture. Yeah. No. Alright.
Wow, look at the carved ice. It feels perfect for this city somehow.
Whatever it's made of, it can't be ice.
I guess you're right. It's actually pretty warm in the city. Hey, what's with all the children over there? Should we go and take a look?
Oh, she's one of the people that's currently in the limited banner for seals.
So let me introduce myself. I'm the intelligence officer for the Silvermane Guards, and a temporary guide for the A Journey Through Belobog's history program. My name is Pelageya Sergeyevna.
Pelageya Sergeyevna. Okay.
You can call me Pela.
Pela. Got it.
And perhaps the grown-ups among us could refrain from acting like children.
Ah, come on. That would have been creepier for me to just stay silent while the teacher's talking to kids.
Okay, guys. Take a look over here. This is Everwinter Monument. It was erected to commemorate the mighty architects. The architects are followers of the Aeon Klapad. It was they that foresaw crisis, built up our walls, and established Belobog, preserving the spark of human civilization. Even today, we are still tending to the city. Everwinter Monument is made up of 2 parts. A gear that symbolizes knowledge and industrial strength, and huge ice crystals that symbolize the eternal freeze. These 2 symbols are bound together, the gear restricting the ice. It represents the unyielding spirit of the architects in the face of nature's barbaric. Any questions?
Sounds like propaganda, but okay.
Any questions?
Oh, I do get to ask questions. What are the blue crystals?
You mean, what are they made of? It's geomarrow that's undergone a change in color. The color of geomarrow is related to the environmental temperature during its refinement. The monument is made up of 2 parts. A gear that symbolizes knowledge and industrial strength.
We've already heard that.
The architects are followers of the Aeon Klapad.
We already listened to that.
The architects are Belobog's founders and saviors.
We already read that.
That's a question for the Scientific Research Division, though they may not be able to give you a definitive answer. The Eternal Freeze is no ordinary natural disaster. Meteorological records from hundreds of years ago cannot explain the cause. To put it simply, it's a problem that has plagued Belobog scientists for centuries. And what about you guys? Take your time. We're not in a rush.
Okay. Oops, sorry, children.
You know what
Everyone knows about Limestein's encounter. Tell the whole truth, indeed, in the Londis. Sigh, I've heard that the ghosts. Wow, there's so much going on here. All I can say is knowing too much can be a mistake. Huh? What are you guys talking about? Where is the newspaper seller? Oh, they're in the middle. Okay. We've been over here because there was a treasure chest here. Trash can. Pretty postcard lies among the garbage. It reads, "Stay your hand. Only the following persons are permitted to go through Belobog's trash cans. Telebob's, the garbage king, and myself." It continues, "and the 45 members of the cleaning squad." There's nothing written on the back. You are confused. Even trash cans are serious business in this city. Manya, administration official. Sorry, I'm busy. Please make an appointment if you already have an appointment. Well, I'm on break, so you can get a number and wait when you're called. It's expected to be your turn in an hour. You just said you were busy. Of course, administration staff are always busy. There are always so many things to think about. Admin work, workers like myself are like messy yarns, and there are only a few administrators to gather threads into skeins. How could I not be busy? I'm going through work details in my brain even during my break, so please don't interrupt my work. Thank you. Do you understand, my friend? I still have questions. I just said I'm on break. Fine, if you insist. What kind of work do you do? Excellent question. My job involves a little bit of everything, but the vital to keeping things running smoothly in Belobog. You can say I'm the unsung hero of this city. I'm responsible for grassroots affairs in the administration district, listening to basic requests from people, and solving day-to-day issues. In that case, can you hear out my request? Of course, but you'll need to reserve a slot. My work hours are from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I handle administration and civil affairs during these times. Currently on break as a public official, separating professional and private time is of basic importance. How do I make an appointment? Please out the form at counter 236 on the second floor of Clive floor, then have a staff member stamp it at window 35 on the third floor. After stamping, please head to the window on 155 on the first floor and wait in line for the proof of the appointment. The formal processing usually takes 1 month after an appointment has been made. Hot dang, okay. To inquire about specific process, please consult the window staff when making the appointment. You're just trying to slack off, aren't you? What would you make you think that? But I don't blame you. Many have the same misunderstanding, thinking that it's just a job where you can kick your feet up. A job where I could clock in, drink tea, read the newspaper, chit-chat with colleagues, and stare at the time waiting to get off, but that's all nonsense. Please lose those false impressions of grassroots public officials. Our days are busy ones indeed. Interesting.
Neverwinter Workshop. Hey, didn't Japard say there'd be a show here?
He said you can sometimes catch an outdoor performance. Sometimes being the operative word.
Darn. I wanted to see one. Oh, I've been wondering. You see that heater over there? Why do they keep it outdoors? This city is so weird.
I mean, for example, in South Korea, they keep outdoor heaters like this so that people outside can stand near them to get warmer, or if you're standing in a line, you can be heated up by this.
Normally you'd want a heater inside a building, right? If so, I'm not sure mighty is the right word for these architects.
Tiny heaters are no use against the Stellaron disaster.
You guys sure have a lot to say about that broken heater.
Oh, wow, she's cool.
It's broken?
Yep, touch it and find out. Ice cold. I was just about to fix it up. I forgot to introduce myself. The name's Serval. I'm the owner of this workshop. If you got any broken equipment lying around, you can always come find me. Though I can't guarantee I'll be interested in fixing it.
Oh, we're okay. I was just curious about the heater.
Curious? About the heater? It's just a standard geomarrow radiator. You can find them anywhere in the administrative district.
We're only just here, everything's new.
Got here? Ah! I figured it out. I heard a loudmouth guard say that a group of outsiders had met with Cocolia. You must be them? What an honor. Where are my manners? We can talk about heaters all day if you like.
Let's have a chat.
I love her blue tipped hair down here. Okay, so we can go in there if we would like. I wanted to collect this though. Okay, by now you should have received the heating maintenance safety operation manual. Make sure you read that first. As you are well aware, my wife is about to give birth, so I'll be heading home earlier today. I'll be gone for half a month, which means I won't be here for the big maintenance before the Soul Warm Festival. But relax, Belle will walk you through everything. Just don't forget what I taught you and you'll be fine. I know you pick up things fast. However, the maintenance of heating pipes is the most important maintenance job in Belobog. I made some notes here, in case you forget. While you read this, open your safety operating manual and follow along. Remember to ask Belle if you have any questions. I don't go over the first and second points because there's nothing to say about getting the certificate and wearing protection. Those are too basic. Specifically eyewear. For anyone who wears glasses, eyewear protection is so annoying because you have to find something that goes over your glasses. For the third point, check the lighting in the heating maintenance area. You should pay special attention, especially to the emergency lighting. There was an accident in the past with my master where the furnace wasn't lit. No lighting is a recipe for accidents. The fourth point on changing the pipe's protective coating has one missing point at the top. Remember to always wear insulation gloves. The pipes are full of hot steam and there's no insulation around them. One touch and you will be scalded. I've taught you the ratio to mix the protective coating liquid and water, so be careful. It doesn't matter if you waste some coating liquid, just don't add too much water. The pipe's surface temperature is very high, so if you brush a very watery liquid onto it, the room will fill with water vapor. Wonder if we should know that to escape later. If something goes wrong, it can be fatal. As for how to apply the coating, you already know this. Brush it thin and evenly, don't go back and forth. The eighth point goes over the most important thing, maintenance of the steam turbine rotor. Halfway through the maintenance, be sure to check your maintenance clothes, electrical, insulation, and protective goggles. Also, when going back for maintenance, please remember to stop the boiler and the generator. This is a delicate device, and if it breaks, there's no replacing it for a while. Can't be too careful with it. For the 10th point, the alarms and monitoring devices we are now using are different from the ones in the manual. Just go with what I taught you. That's about it. Once the heating maintenance is complete, you'll be a full-fledged maintenance worker. Come by during the Soul Warm Festival, and I'll treat you to a special sun cake. It's more delicious than anything you'll find in the stores. Also, my wife's relatives are coming over, so try to dress up a bit. Ooh, the relatives. Okay, we want to make sure we see everything that has to do in the middle before we keep walking around. Roaming judge for due. Wait, please file a report with the Silvermane Guides. If you encounter any civil disputes, please don't try to bypass the prosecution and discuss it with the judge directly. Judge? I know what you want to ask. As a judge, how is it that I am standing out in the street instead of in a courthouse, right? Have you ever heard the term roaming judge? Forget about it. It sounds impressive, but I'm just a legal advisor sent to help the guards. Compared to my work in court, this is a major waste of time. Well, you shouldn't put it like that. Don't you think it's a waste of my time to have me out here trying to talk sense into elderly every day? I was a straight A student at Belobog Law School. Why am I dealing with the trivial family stuff? I should be in charge of more complex, important cases. That's where I shine. You know what I'm talking about, right? What's that look on your face? Forget it. You aren't much different from those old timers. Just come to me when you have a big case. Sure. You seem upset. Huh? Is it that obvious? My man, you just trash-talked everyone here. Dealing with a bunch of ignorant old people every day, you'd be annoyed too if you were me. What kind of legal issues do you help them with? Legal issues? You think too highly of the people of Belobog. What they come to me for has nothing to do with the law. It's all complaints about daily life. It's always the same thing. The complaints tell me... The complainant... There we go. Tells me they have been altruistic and taken the big picture into consideration, and the offending party has taken advantage of them and is being ungrateful. You can hear thousands of stories like this in the Soul Warm Festival family gatherings. Those stories are, in the end, more blackmail, which I am not interested in at all. But I am a legal practitioner, after all, so it is my duty to help the public get to know the law. Every time it gets to this part, they start pretending like they don't understand me. But who's to blame? After all, the law is always fair and impartial, showing favor to no one. That's a lie, but okay. I know, right? I can't go on being a roaming judge for a second longer. What kind of cases do you think are important? Corruption related, with evil organizations or personnel involved, or at least arms smuggling or scams. It's like people who join the police force being like, we're gonna catch serial killers and uncover giant drug operations, but most of the time you're handing out like parking tickets. Forget it. Just pretend like I'm talking nonsense. Belobog is too safe to have cases like that. Even if there is a big case, it's out of my reach. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to go after the Guardian, so... we'll call for you when we get that case straightened out. Petroleum jelly. Oh, wrong one. Balaran Petroleum Jelly has always been your best partner when marching through the blizzard. Just one application can lock in moisture and even warmth, usable by anyone, anywhere. Apply a thin layer of the jelly to form a protective layer on your skin and lock in moisture. The jelly is made with non-irritants, making it usable to almost everyone. It also contains low levels of mineral oil scents, suitable even for the most sensitive to alcohol and aromonic additives. Is effective in preventing the loss of body temperature and even bare skin exposed to the air. Jelly can also be applied to preserve warmth for covered skin, providing a layer of insulation for your journey into the cold. Does not provide anti-inflammatory relief, but it still helps heal small wounds by insulating the wound from the air and germs, which allows your skin to heal faster without leaving any scars. Cold, dry air can cause nasal capillaries to rupture, but a thin layer of our jelly can be applied to the inside of the nose to prevent further bleeding. In 376 AF, an overworld worker discovered the byproduct of burning geomarrow had a small analgesic effect on burns and cuts. 12 years later, Robert, the head of pharmacy professor of the Charisse Hospital, refined the geomarrow remnants into the Belerian petroleum jelly we know today and applied it to the fields of medicine and cosmetics and became Petroleum Jelly Age. The brand was founded in 390 AF, so probably after Freeze, and has been protecting the skin of the Belobog people for over 300 years. We are confident that it will continue to protect you and your family for years to come. Welcome to the grocers. What can we help you with? I would like to buy something. Oh, of course. Let's get the album. Solid water. Ice. Okay. These all reset. This one does not reset. Nor does this one. And then we have some more of these, recipes. Wonder if I should just max out buying these since they don't reset. The rest of these reset. That one did not, so we'll buy all of them. They're probably like some kind of... yeah, it's like a quest item, probably. Food journalists. The sweet taste is like the first drop of water from the cracks of the ice when the river unfreezes after the soul warm for a bit of warmth against the bitter cold. What do you think? Doesn't this description give you an appetite? No. Not really. Well, I can't blame you. It's my own problem. My writing's not good enough. Darn it. What's the point of being a food journalist if I can't use words to instruct a sense of taste and utilize synthesia? By the way, while I'm talking with you, I have another paragraph here. Let me read it to you. The rich sauces are like an invading army, completely overwhelming the crisp and fresh taste of the salmon. The gentle aroma of fish has no choice but to surrender and defeat. How's that? A little too wordy? You should write a novel. Yep, a lot of unnecessary details. You should write a novel. I can't help myself. I used to be a literary journalist. Every day I was trying to add more adjectives to the sentence anywhere I could fit them. I wouldn't get my bonus if readers can easily deduce the subject, predicate, and object within 3 lines. But then a new girl came and was better at filling in words than I was, so I made a career change. Have you read the cuisine section of the Crystal Daily? I'm the author of that section. Honestly, I don't want to include all this garish garbage in my writing anyway. I'm gonna put more work into honing my rhetoric skills. Well, enough about me. How can I help you? I have questions about writing. Why don't you try a more straightforward writing style? It won't do. The paper has its requirements. The chief editor has his own. Word count needs to hit quotas, that's for sure. We get paid by the words, after all. Other than that, the editor has made it clear that our paper is produced with the educated class in mind. Ideally, our average readership should consider exposure to our publication both a privilege and a chance to learn. The newbie is a natural for this. She can write 100 pages for what could have been described using a few words. Oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of college. Just like... this could have been condensed down into a page, and it's like 50 pages. About food. Any recommendations? Nope, I'm not mad at you, I'm simply stating facts. Belbog is not a huge place with a huge variety of food. The same ingredients are used for hundreds of years. Quite literally every possible combination has been used at some point. But if you are not from around here, red sunset salmon might be worth trying. It's not exclusive to this place, I know, but you can only get the freshest salmon from the administration district. Once you've tasted it, you'll remember it for the rest of your life. Cool. Mailbox. There's nothing special about the mailbox, but you feel like something's wrong. You look at it carefully again and see a white letter hidden in a shadow. We will put it in the mailbox. You pick up the letter and put it in the mailbox. From deep in your heart, you feel a noble existence smile, wink, and give you a thumbs up, like a soldier trying to gauge an explosion radius. We got another high morals thing. I don't know what they're for, but we got another one. Alright. So that's everything on this side. Let's make sure we talked to everyone here. This guy has a store, so let's talk to him. We got the news. Today's paper, hot off the press. Ha! A new face. Interested in a newspaper? Let's have a chat. Sorry, you caught me during work hours, but if you want to buy a newspaper... how's business? Business? Hehe, just enough to keep from starving. Selling these in the street is hard work. It would be nice if you could contribute a little to my profits. Then I may be able to afford to eat something different for once. What do you think? You get the news, I get a good meal. It's win-win. A good deal, right? Any big news lately? That's a good question. Let me see. How about this one? What did the man in black tell Mr. Bova, the minister, that made him leave the party in a hurry? What happened? Hold on, check out this one. 6 out of 7 people fainted while eating hot pot. No harmful substances were found in the hot pot. How did the perfect crime happen? How? You want to know? You're messing with me. Huh? No! I'll tell you the answer right away after you give me a few shield. Are you for real? Take it easy, take it easy. It's just how business works. I'm sure you'll understand. I'll leave you to your work. Do I actually buy it with the coins I've been picking up, or do I... No, I can use my credits still. Okay, we'll get the book, of course. A paper. Oh man, I'm about to have to read a punch, aren't I? There, I have funded you getting a meal today. I got an achievement, probably from finding books. Collected 20 readable items in Belobog. Hey yo. Alright, bookshelf. Oh gosh. Alright everyone, buckle up. We're about to read a bunch. Ice storm causes. Alright, so, among the Crystal Peaks, do you really know about ice storms? Last week, the Belobog Meteorological Center issued a code orange ice storm warning. North Nincia was buffeted by intense cold fronts at the center, and suburbs of the overworld were violently hit by ice storms. This time, the short bout of freezing rain brought glaze to Belobog. This is where long icicles form on many structures and trees. Thanks to the architect's sacred protection, Belobog remains warm all year long, but there are still rare occasions of freezing rain. We have invited a Belobog meteorologist, Professor Yegard, to give us a brief introduction on ice storms. Reporter Millie, hereafter referred to as M, hello. Professor Yegard. Professor Yegard, here and after referred to as Y, hello. Last week, Belobog experienced an ice storm in the suburbs and downtown area. Can you give a brief explanation of the causes? Why? At the weather station, we usually call it freezing rain. They refer to the same weather condition. Before we talk about that, I must first mention the abnormally low temperatures that occurred in Belobog before the Soulworm Festival. I believe you're referring to the Belobog winter, right? The news has made announcements about it in every region. Why? The dropping temperatures combined with the sudden strong winds from outside the Belobog greenhouse area, which rushed to the suburbs, formed freezing winds. The urban heat island lied in the city center, so the temperature there was higher, causing rain to form. Is it more like sleet where I live? What makes freezing rain special is the glaze. How is the glaze formed? Why? It is formed when warm and cold air collides. Below the surface, the air and ground temperature drops below freezing. Above the surface, relatively wet, and temperatures are above freezing. As water transitions to the surface below, it forms supercooled water drops. So, supercooled water drops are water droplets before the freezing point? Yes. Since the temperature near the ground is lower, the supercooled water drops form a thin layer of crystal clear ice when they touch the buildings, trees, and vegetations or roads. These glaze formation on trees are what people usually call icicles. So that's how it is. Based on your description just now, is freezing rain a rare occurrence? That's right. There's only a short time before and after Soulworm Festival in which the natural phenomenon can occur. Citizens are free to enjoy this beautiful glaze scenery in the suburbs with proper attire and safety conditions, of course. Thank you, Professor Jaeger, for taking the time to teach us about freezing rain. You're welcome. Okay, interview of the daily life before the Soulworm Festival. Oh, this one is long. Ugh. I've been reading all of these for lore, but my throat is just killing me. Okay. Alright. The upcoming Soulworm Festival has everyone busy with festival preparations. My dear Belobog friends, have you made your sun cakes? The reporter visited an ordinary household in Belobog. They talked about what preparations they had done, what the Soulworm Festival meant to them. The interviewee was, this time, our young member of the Silver Main Guards and his family. The interviewer was scheduled for the morning before Soulworm Festival. The husband was preparing to go out and purchase food for the Soulworm Festival, which the wife stayed home to watch the kids. Reporter, hello, sorry to intrude. I'm Abel, the one who contacted you before. Ethan, no problem. It's my first interview, so I'm a bit nervous. Reporter, can you please introduce yourself? Ethan, I'm Ethan and I'm a soldier. This is my wife Hannah and our child little Beck. Hannah, hello, I'm Hannah and I work at the library. Beck. Book. Reporter, Beck is so cute. How old is he? Hannah, he just turned 1. Beck. Get Tad. Reporter, it seems like he's trying to say something. Are you going out for groceries? What are you bringing, where are you bringing so many things with you? Ethan, actually, I've asked for a short leave of absence. My plan for today is to take some comfort foods to my good friends on the front line first, then head to the market. Beck. Get Tad. Hannah, shh. Reporter, your friends must be happy. By the way, is little Beck talking already? Hannah, no, he can only say a few simple words. Beck, Gee, Tad. Reporter, haha, that's still very impressive for his age. What's he trying to say? Hannah, Japard, the scoundrel. Ethan, I don't agree with him. I always respect the captain. Reporter, well, I won't keep you while you're out shopping. I'll interview your wife. Ethan, wait, I'll go out later. Make sure that what you will talk about during the interview. Ethan and Hannah have been married for more than 2 years. According to Soulworm Festival customs, the newlywed husband Ethan should bring ingredients and make sun cakes with his mother-in-law. However, he's been on duty during the festival for 2 consecutive years due to the nature of his job. This year, Ethan can finally enjoy his Soulworm Festival holidays, which will also give him the opportunity to impress everyone with his cooking skills as his in-laws. Ethan, to be honest, I still don't know much. I still don't know how to make it. Hannah, it's because you don't care. If the reporter didn't bring it up, you'd probably have forgotten it all. What would you have my mother eat? Ethan, Reporter, please stop fighting. Little Beck just fell asleep. I see Ethan doesn't usually cook, right? Ethan, yeah, my wife usually cooks since my job. Hannah, there you go again with your excuses. I'm busy with work too, but I make the time to cook. It all depends on whether you want to or not. Reporter, how about this? Why don't we learn how to make sun cakes now? With an apron on and a kitchen knife in hand, Ethan looked every bit a pro despite it being his first time cooking. Even though it was his first time, Hannah, his wife, didn't seem too keen to help him in any way. She whispered to the reporter that she was going to use this opportunity to teach her husband a lesson. So Ethan looked up the recipe for sun cakes and followed it step by step. Add sugar and salt to 3 eggs and beat quickly. Add in moo milk and flour and mix until thick. While mixing, Ethan also removed the lumps in the mixture, which is good for a beginner. He brushed the pan with a light layer of oil and then the egg mix, and the sun cakes are done. In high spirits, Ethan also cooks the frost grain cod. The reporter was honored to be invited to lunch. Reporter, even though it's your first time, it seems like you know what you're doing. Ethan, I'm still a little nervous. Hannah, then let's dig in first. The reporter had eaten a lot of sun cakes over the year, but never had eaten one so rich in flavor. It wasn't too salty or too sweet, and it had the perfect texture. It's hard to imagine that Ethan made this on his first try. Add a touch of yogurt, honey, and frost-weaved salmon, and the sun cakes were ready to be sold in stores. The interviewer was once put on hold as the reporter and Hannah helped Ethan in the kitchen. The interview. Making almost 100 sun cakes. It was already towards dusk before they realized it, and it wasn't until they heard little Beck's cries that the young couple came to realize their child hadn't eaten lunch. Oh my! This is an unexpectedly warm incident in an interview with the family. Let's wish Ethan a great debut at his mother-in-law's. By the way, the sun cakes were so delicious that the reporter took 50 sun cakes to go. Hope you paid them for it then. Oratorio, Supreme Guardian, Premier Spectacular. On January 13th, 698, Mr. George, in response to a charity fundraiser organized by the Belobog government, premiered the once-rehearsed Elisa Rand in the new concert hall on Faneka Street. The poster for the show read, "For the benefit of poor criminals in the interest of Cherie's Hospital." In an interview with the Crystal Daily, he said, "All proceeds from the show will go to charity. It will be split equally between the Criminal Welfare Society and the Cherie's Hospital." The performance was conducted by George himself. The entire Architect Gollard's chorus was in attendance. It was an unprecedented event, evident by the tickets being sold out the day it was available. The new concert hall, with 1,500 seats fully booked for the premiere, was unable to meet the demand. On the day of the premiere, the concert hall asked ladies better not to wear bustled dresses and gentlemen better not to carry swords, so that there would be more room for the audience. In total, 1,800 guests crammed into the concert hall, with many of them sitting on the steps of the walkway to watch the premiere of The Supreme Guardian. The performance was a sensation, and famous music critic Borowski praised, "Words cannot express the shock and joy that this amazing performance brought to the full house." On the day after the premiere, the Crystal Daily devoted a full page to the Supreme Guardian and its performance. The article stated, "Exquisite, grand, and gentle. We had to search through the dictionary for the most elegant, majestic, and vivid words to describe. Those three are the best you could come up with. The baptism of joy is experienced by our ears and souls." As promised, after deducting the expenses for the orchestra and concert hall, George donated the remaining proceeds to the Criminal Welfare Society and the Cherie's Hospital. Ooh. By January 19, the Belobog residents' demand for a second show had grown more intense. At the request of the Clypoth Fort, an encore of Supreme Guardian was quickly arranged and performed in the Golden Theater. The new concert hall had other shows arranged. The tickets were available January 18th and sold out in half a day. At the time, many conservatives thought an oratorio was inappropriate for the theater. Sorry, guys. Supreme Guardian Kalia silenced the outmoded by attending the show in person. On the evening of the 19th, when the orchestra played Elisa Rand, the Supreme Guardian couldn't contain her excitement and stood up to pay her tribute. When she did so, the whole audience followed suit. Some critics think this will become an unspoken rule that the audience should stand for this part of the show in the future. After the show, the Supreme Guardian Kokulia personally took to the stage to thank George. It is reported that the proceeds of the second show, after deducting expenses, were donated to the children's education community. According to the Crystal Daily, Mr. George imparts a truly sublime and pure meaning to the world he conducts, which usually means in stories like this that he's actually severely evil. Okay, rye bread soda iceberg. It's a recipe. Okay. At the beginning of the Eternal Freeze, many migrants thought that there wouldn't be a need for cold snacks in Belobog, but soon they couldn't resist the frozen delight. Belobog's central heating warmed every room of every household, and the heat made the air dry. Who wouldn't want to eat a frozen delight after a hearty steaming meal? Eating that frozen delight indoors will hit all the right spots. Eating it outdoors, well, that's a whole other sensation. One of the traditional flavors from Belobog is rye bread soda. Rye bread soda is almost as old as Belobog itself. In 73, after Freeze AF, the Belobog Food Committee, not wanting excess bread to go to waste, suggested an idea to several bakeries to create another product with them. First, the excess bread was turned to rust, complete crushed and soaked. Then the bread liquid is extracted and fermented. The result was rye bread soda. It can be considered a product of Belobog's absolute resourcefulness. It's been proclaimed an iconic drink that even children can enjoy. In recent years, there's a new rye bread soda on the market called Rye Bread Soda Iceberg, based on the original rye bread soda formula. This new version is quite popular among young people. It's common to see young couples outside a dessert shop eating an iceberg with small spoons. Rye bread soda iceberg is easy to make and the ingredients are simple. Let's learn how to make it at home. Okay. We were able to get all of that out. So that's where we came out of, so we just need to do this circle and then explore the last area. They don't seem to have anything, so let's stick to the walls per normal. Enthusiastic man. Young person, look over here. Just 2 minutes of your time can save you from future losses. Has a sneaky kid with dark blue hair ever come up to talk to you? It rings a bell. Shampoo. You are likely a victim of the dark blue scam. Take my advice, that guy is a serial scammer. Don't believe anything he says. Here, take this. It's a tutorial on preventing scams written by the Dark Blue Scam Victims Association. Shampoo, what have you been doing? Read it carefully, and if you have any questions, come to me. Can I have a question? Go ahead, it's our responsibility to help prevent the public from being scammed. The association? That's right, the members of the association are all former victims. We are united to share what we have learned and help the public by raising awareness. The guy goes over the case studies of those who have been scammed by the blue hair swindler. It is evidence of his evil crimes, a painful lesson that we predecessors suffered. The first time I met the guy, he asked if I wanted a parallel universe printer. Well, I asked him how the printer worked, and he immediately started rambling on a bunch of smorgasbord about science stuff. I was also almost caught up in it. Terms like parallel universe, aeons, and parity anomaly. Swindlers love to use those words related to the universe and aeons to scam people. I didn't believe him until he used it to print money. He made 2 bills with the exact same serial number. How much did you pay? The price isn't important. What's important is that you need to be careful so the same scam doesn't happen to you. It's sometime later, after the counterfeiting scam, I bumped into the same blue-haired guy again in the alley in the commercial district. I should have had the Silvermane guards arrest him, but I was so angry and I needed an explanation. Instead, he asked me with a straight face, "Were you staring at the printer?" He accused me of not reading the manual and wasting such a genius invention. He even offered to refund the full payment so that he could find another buyer for the parallel universe printer. He also said if the operator keeps staring at the printer, the parallel universe transmission can't happen. The only way to avoid interfering with the transmission process is to observe it with the help of an ether lens. So you bought an ether lens? Doesn't that sound reasonable? So I was tricked again by the apparent sincerity. Now I know that 9 out of 10 people who try to associate their products with any kind of parallel universe theories are scammers. Parallel universes do actually exist, though. Haha, are you kidding me? Do you really expect me to believe that? Or are you working with the blue-haired guy? Get out! If you don't leave, I had the Silvermane guards come and arrest you. But it's true! Alright, more and more residents have suffered financial and emotional damage from the Dark Blue scam. The Silvermane guards cannot capture the mastermind behind the scam. That is why the various victims of the Dark Blue scam have come together to form the Dark Blue Scam Victim Association. Shampoo, please get your act together. You have an entire association against you. We have produced this guide and collected the usual lies and classic cases of such scams. All citizens, please read this carefully and remember as well to protect our sacred private properties from being ravaged. Parallel universes, the perpetual machine, the omnipotent key, android puppets, intracranial theater. Interesting. We're not gonna read all of that one. If you want to, you can pause it in a stream later. But it's just showing Shampoo's ability to Shampoo's maxed out charisma. Who knew fishing would be this much of a hassle? Don't worry too much. You've got us the full right society for this. What if I get exposed? Don't worry, we'll come up with a flawless cover story. Oh, I regret getting married. Are you finished? Okay, nothing there.
Ready? Here we go.
Collect. This one, the traveler who survived the blizzard. It's a poem, okay? This is a poem on how people from all corners of the world stumbled through the blizzard and bitter coldness to Belobog at the beginning of the internal freeze. With the arrival of the Ice Age, winds grew stronger and the temperature dropped even further. Through numerous dangers and obstacles, people from all over the world came to Belobog to pass on the sparks of human civilization. The poems liken Belobog to a warm harbor and the end of the journey, inspiring the refugees to keep going. Read the poem carefully to see how the author used the perspective of refugees to demonstrate the positive attitude and confidence towards future despite fears of uncertainty.
Ready? Here we go.
Okay. Street lamp. A fountain in the plaza is shooting out cool, tepid water. You can see through the ripples that the bottom of the fountain has metal coins strewn about. It looks like the locals use it as a kind of wishing pool. Toss in a coin. You pull out a local coin and make a wish as it flips through the air. Afterward, the coin sinks down into the water, becoming just another unremarkable reflection among all others. For a while, nothing happens, and you begin to feel deceived. But look, the coin tumbles into the first domino, triggering a cascade effect. Something floats up, and you grab it. Silvermane badge. Okay, it is a mission item. Silvermane badge. A pin badge worn by soldiers. Material for use. Okay. She's standing still. Are you... Oh, you are someone to talk to. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, sorry to bother you. Can I take a moment of your time? Can I ask you a question about literature? Literature? Just one of those general questions. I'd like to hear your take on it. Get straight to it. How would you rate these two books, Snow Plains and The Three Troubles? I haven't read either. What? That's a pity. These are the must-reads on the list of books you should read in Belobog. Well, don't mind me. I guess I can't expect everyone to be as educated. Let me introduce myself. I am Nico with the Crystal Daily. Sorry to bother you, but we are collecting petitions from readers to lift the ban on the Tale of Winterlands. It'd be wonderful if you could sign here. Of course, feel free to raise any concerns. Ah, yes. As a gesture of goodwill, I'll give you the 7 Wonders of Belobog as a gift. I have questions. What is the Tale of Winterlands? Have you never heard of it? It's an adventure novel published by the by us. The architects banned it not long ago, which forced us to destroy what's left of our stocks as well. But I can assure you there is no problem with the content. It's just too creative. By that I mean it depicts the wonders beyond the snow curtain. Truly magnificent work. The town, yeah, the architects are definitely evil if they're making it so that you cannot learn about something behind the walls or whatever. They're like cutting off information and stuff. Definitely evil organization. Where can I read it? I don't have a copy with me at the moment. I suggest you find Ammo in the administration district. I commissioned him to adapt the Tale of Winterlands and sent him a copy a while ago. If you can get the book through other means, feel free. It's not easy to get a hold of the novel these days. Thank you for your troubles. Are you buying public... What do I need to do exactly? Simple. Just sign this petition form and add a comment about what you think. Oh, I got a recipe. I think it's the first recipe I've gotten. Where does it show up? Okay. There we go. See if anything's over. Oh. Street lamp. Heater. Treasure. People, lecturer. Dominic. Children of the Everwinter City, proud citizens of the preservation, hold your heads up high, grind yet not against the mundane vulgarities of everyday discourse. Always remember deep in your hearts the teaching of the architects of the Supreme Guardian. You seem rather involved. Would you like to hear him finish his preaching? Sure. Normal it is for you to doubt in your hearts because you look around yourselves and can't see the preservation anywhere. You cast your eyes hither and thither, and nary do you see any evidence of the very existence of preservation. And yet comes this very day I shall resolve your doubts and let you feel the true grace of the preservation, and let you marvel at the almighty will of the architects. What is the crowd saying? Hear that? What an impassioned speech. Praise the architects as his words have reinvigorated my lust for life. Is it really as great as you say? If you ask me, these architects just say the same empty rhetoric day in and day out, and if you've got time for all this bluster, you've got the time to help improve everybody's living conditions around here. The preservation, oh praise. I've been off for a big walk and come back. It's still going? Kids these days, they never shut up. Alright, keep talking. Preservation is an embodiment of Klipoth and is with us all the time. It is the secret force that imperceptibly shapes our personalities, impacting all the important decisions that we make during our lives. The reason why you struggle so to find it is because the preservation grace is integrated with the world we know and diffused throughout the air we breathe, refracted from the light we see. It is a gentle embraced us in the blossom since the very dawn of our existence. The admonishments of the Supreme Guardian remind us to never take the preservation's grace for granted. We must inherit the spirit of the architect ancestors, preserve and survive in this world of ours, and to bravely defy any calamities we face. The fragmentum and the eternal freeze. These are just bumps in the road of our path to carrying out the will of the preservation. O brothers and sisters, stand together with thine architects and our supreme guardian. Follow in her footsteps, for victory is our destiny. That's enough. Considering they say that they've been gone for an hour and come back, yeah, that would be enough. Take your cultish nonsense elsewhere. Oh, we got another one, didn't we? A child's letter. Marlet, I haven't seen you in a long time. I told my father I missed you, so I could write, so he said I could write to you. As I wrote this letter, my father was reading over my shoulders. I didn't want him to, but he's probably read it when he mails it to me, so whatever. It's all your fault that I had a fever lately. I cried for the longest time after you moved away because I thought you'd forgotten me, so imagine my surprise when I received the cookies you sent me a few days ago. Couldn't stop thinking about you so much so that I couldn't do well on my test. My father says it's just an excuse, but I really do believe that it was your fault. Same as this fever. My father said I could go visit you over the weekend, but we live too far apart. He thought after some time, maybe several months, or the next Soulwarm Festival, we'll make new friends and we'll gradually forget about each other. That's what happened to him when he was younger. When I asked him about it, he looked away, and it was only then that I noticed his face had turned red. My mother was reading my letter just now, but now they're gone. I understand why my father is worried. You better send cookies to me every week, and I'll also write to you. If you think it is unfair, then you can write to me and I'll bake you some cookies. My parents are back now. My mother said it would be nice if we'd work in the same factory. That's where my parents met. Adults think they know everything. They think we want to get married, but our relationship isn't like that at all. They don't know anything about us. Right now, they're giggling to themselves. If I didn't have a fever, I'd write this letter in secret and mail it myself so they wouldn't be able to read it. I want to become a scientist capable of creating the largest furnace this world has ever seen. This way, when we go to the outer municipal district, we won't have to wear so many layers of clothing. Do you remember when I went out there to play? I wore so many layers that I couldn't even put my arms down. We ended up not doing anything fun. When I invent that furnace, we'll play there again. So I probably won't get to work at the factory. I'm more interested in going to the research institute. If you want to come with me, you can be a scientist. I'll understand if you want to do something else, though. That's what makes me different from those adults. I'm a little sleepy as I'm still on medication today. That's all for now. My dad said he'll mail the letter for me later. Arna. Alright, 7 Wonders of Belobog. There's more than 7 points. It is alive. 1. There's a place in the city where if you continue walking forward, you'll end up in the air. 2. If you repeatedly rock back and forth at the corner of the street, the ground will open up and swallow you into the abyss. 3. At a specific point in time, the people that pass by you will suddenly open their arms and make a T-pose. These are all glitches. 4. If you suddenly turn around in a crowded place, the walls become white. 5. If you utter a certain mysterious phrase, the person you're conversing with will turn into a monster. 6. The heater and trash can on the side of the street become square boxes when it snows. 7. When you're in a place with no one else around, music of an unknown origin could be heard. 8. If you're reading this, all the miraculous things above will happen to you. Oh no. Not the glitches. Not the game glitches. Alright. So we have... what was that? Bench? Okay. So that's everything over here. So now we will go around and then go back to the place to the music place. Oh, no, we already talked to her. We did the mailbox. Technology staff. I'm so annoyed. What's wrong? I've got a lot on my mind. What, you've never seen someone express emotion before? I was just passing by. Sorry, I shouldn't have lost my temper. You showed up at a bad time. I'm Molly, the executive consultant of the Silvermane Guards Technology Division. Who are you? I'm Kalis. That's an interesting title. Huh? Why am I commenting on people's names again? Sorry. Is there something important you wanted to see me about? I'm not in a good mood for small talk. I wanted to ask you... what's bothering you? It's about the guards. I'm in no position to talk about it. They don't like me and they're giving me a hard time. I don't know why they're like this. I'm just trying to do my job. That's it. Anyway, it was so depressing in the army. I came out to get some fresh air. What do you do? My job is to coordinate engineering projects and monitor product quality. Oh, also when there is in need of outsource a military project, I will participate in the negotiations and assist in the selection of vendors. It's been so worn out lately. Who said that using your head to work is easier than physical labor? It's good to push yourself when you're young. Why don't you leave? Well, what will people think of me if I leave because of this little setback? Forget it. I'm trying to endure. Maybe everything will be better soon.
So, this friend of mine.
I have a friend. No, please hang on. I've always been curious about this one thing. Huh? How did you manage to make so many friends? Oh, trash can. A nice looking trash can, but that's all it really is, a trash can. Alright, we're just circling around and then we'll go back. A blockade line. Must be bored to death, not to mention it's really bad for your knees. Okay, we already read that. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Something's in my eye. Alright, I think I got it. Alright, mailbox. The mailbox looks like it's seen better days. You think you saw someone post a sausage between 2 bits of bread here. Come to think of it, maybe they were using it as a trash can. Real estate agent. Great location, the outskirts of the city. Energy, water, always sorted out. For this fully furnished property with fabulous interior design, you need to bring nothing but yourself. High demand, limited supply. I'd want to take one for myself. Hey, you there, what are you waiting for? I'm not looking to buy property. Sure, young people are not in a hurry, I get it. Let's put it this way. From the perspective of an investor, we are not talking about a house to live in, it's an asset. If I were you, I wouldn't miss out on this opportunity. Buy it now, wait for the price to go up, sell it, easy money. This is why we're having an affordable housing crisis. Tell you this, if you buy the property and decide to sell it at some point, no matter if you find a potential buyout, I'll list it for you. 13% higher than the current price. You have my word. Well, considering that the value of money goes down by 5% every year, trust me, I'm the best local property agent. There hasn't been a house that I couldn't sell. I've probably said enough. Anyway, think about my proposal. Don't make a decision that you will someday regret. Can we talk? Can I ask you something else? Ask away. It's always a pleasure to help a customer. It's a property scammer. Oh, some phone booths. You stand next to the phone booth and start thinking about fantasy shows you used to watch. Another phone booth. Trash can. 2 trash cans, one for recycling dry garbage, one for recycling wet garbage. Where would you throw pom-poms' fur? Dry garbage? Correct. Pom-pom's fur doesn't easily degrade and isn't toxic, so it belongs in the dry garbage. You immerse yourself in the joys of sorting garbage. Okay, cool. So now we can use the edges to run around here. Hopefully there's not another thing like those, the memory membrane things, because that will be annoying. To go around and find them all when we've already explored so much. You have noticed that yes, there are an unbelievable number of trash cans in the city. Somebody did once propose to reduce the overall number or to initiate some kind of garbage tax policy, but it's only increased the amount of garbage on the street. Now people in the city have come to the consensus that trash cans are Bellbog's other business card. Oh.
That's the alley that Japard mentioned. The one contaminated by the fragmentum, right? I can't believe how close it is to the city center.
They hadn't identified it. I bet all the shops and hotels in the vicinity would have had to close down by now.
Move back. This is your final warning.
But my proof of property is inside. I don't have any.
The fragmentum has already corroded this block. You can make a property retrieval request to the architects, but only Silvermane guards are permitted to enter here.
I can't believe fragmentum corrosion has spread into the city. No wonder there are so many soldiers stationed there.
No. As long as the Stellaron is active, the corrosion will continue to spread. The soldiers can only periodically clear the fragmentum of monsters. But the monsters will continue to emerge and multiply.
Please try to understand, sir. Backwater Pass has become very dangerous. We're just here for your safety.
If I can't get my proof of property, it doesn't matter how safe I am. Out of my way! Let me pass!
This is very similar to other people. Oh, I just noticed us right here. Where people truly don't, who have lived in most safety, are just ignoring when people are like, you can't come here for your own safety. They're like, well, I don't believe you that it's as unsafe as you say, because I've always lived in safety, so how could it be worse than what I've always, lived in? Okay, so now we only have to talk to, Serval.
Let me pass.
Oh, mailbox. Mailbox opens, it's black-mouthed to you like a baby waiting to be fed. I do not have mail, I'm sorry. Trash can. Alright, did anyone else hear the whispers? I'm assuming maybe if we find mail, we should put it in that mailbox. You smell a strong stench as you approach the trash can. Almost as if there was some strange, twisted, dark purple aura surrounding it, protesting in no uncertain terms, no living entities permitted. But be that as it may, you gonna open it? Obviously. While your astonished companions look on, you hold your breath and proceed towards the can like a soldier charging to a hail of bullets. Wait, why are you so interested in rooting through every trash can in the city? What do you have to gain? Charge! You decide to open the lid of the can with a determined mind. At the first glance, you saw that strange, stinky thing. Suddenly, like an old monk sitting in a concentrated introspection, you reach out and grab it. However, you fail to reach enlightenment given that your companions just ran for cover, holding their noses. We got trash. It's just a trash can, because we took whatever entity was possessing it, I guess. And we can't go past that. Another trash can. A pretty postcard is lying in the trash can. It reads, "Friends, you've crossed the line. This isn't something you should have touched. Signed, Garbage King." There's a coin glued to the back of the postcard. It seems like the king understands that you need to tip someone if you want them to pass on a message. Seems like you've got yourself a real competitor when it comes to rooting through trash cans. Why would he call himself the Garbage King? Isn't he embarrassed? Ancient coin. Okay. Another trash can. Someone threw a book into the trash can. You can pick it up, and it seems to be a lengthy serial novel by the name of The Tales of Winterland. Hey, it's the one not archivist, the novelist publishing agent was talking about. You have the incomplete 4th volume in your hands. What are these whispers? Are they coming from the trash can? Okay, so we've been collecting bits and pieces of that. Okay. The illegal... Oh, we can go up here. Okay. Luggage. The luggage is waiting for its owner. Maybe shortly after a detective will open it to discover essential clues and save the city. That's a whole new story. I'm getting... what is it called? BBC Sherlock. A burning smell invades your nostrils as you approach the trash can. The trash can looks like it was set on fire. The entire trash can is deformed with a layer of dark, scorched, ash-like substance coating the bottom. In the light, you see particles floating softly, almost dancing. Okay. We can go into the hotel. Treasure chest. More luggage. Luggage piled randomly on the side. Luggage is waiting for its owner. Mailbox. Opening develops 2 postcards being kept in balance. Touch one and one of them will fall in. Push them all in. You reach your hand out and gently touch them. You aren't sure whether your hand skimmed, but the balance of the two envelopes is instantly broken. It's incredibly how good it feels to do something good. We got more praise of high morals. What's in here? This is the hotel we've been sent to. Ooh. Alright. You can see the city through the mirror. That's cool.
That's your 8th dish.
Oh, another part of the Tales of Winter. I have a friend request? I wonder who that could be. Oh, it's my friend is online, I guess. Oh, no, it is a friend request. Sure. I don't know why someone would want to be friends with my character, considering I haven't done anything, but sure. My level 20 Trailblazer will be of so much assistance to their team. Universe, time and space, past and present. I'm on to something. Eureka! Shh. Oh, you didn't say anything. Good. Do not interrupt my research. It's impossible to talk sense into people like you. Science is a complicated matter. Nothing like your everyday chores that require only 2 brain cells to do. If you can tell what I'm doing with your untrained eyes, I might as well quit the job and let you do it. That's hardly a valid argument. Says someone who has no clue what I'm doing with my research. Science is dead. I don't have much time to waste. Tell me what you want or step aside and let me continue my research on the big universe time tunnel. Are you really a scientist? Of course I am. What kind of question is that? Those jealous old nerds and hags in Bellbog's academic circle refuse to recognize me only because my revolutionary findings will make them look useless. Geo Merrill always rises to the top. It's just a matter of time before a talented scientist such as myself receives proper funding for my research. Alas, I have always been waiting for a patron to come along, and it is painful to see my talent go unnoticed. Did you not receive academic training? That just goes to show how ill-informed you are about the science community today. What can you learn from a bunch of self-righteous nerds who fight tooth and nail for money and power? So you're self-taught. Find it hard to believe. One day the world will tremble before my big universe time tunnel. You'll see. And my name, Regan, will go down in history as the greatest civilian scientist. Okay. Whatever you say, man. You look very familiar, sir. Welcome to the hotel. Are you staying with us, or would you like to try our special afternoon tea? I would like to try your tea. Oh, it's on the sides of the lobby. Find yourself a sofa and take a seat, and I'll arrange it. This is where I grew up. I wouldn't say I know all about these administrative districts, but I do know the history and goings on around these parts very well. Just let me know if you're interested. What questions do you have? Well, it depends on how you define special guests. Many guests have stayed with us. Indeed, there are a lot. For example, a lady from a rich family escaped her wedding and jumped out the window on the 2nd floor in her pajamas. No one ever heard from her since. There was a couple who was a theater celebrities. They appeared as though they were in love, but they stayed in different rooms when they were here on their honeymoon. And there was a lady who would always stay in a single room when her family was at work. She was always drawing in a room, and she would cry every time she finished drawing. I wonder what she's been through. It's happened a lot in our industry. We always encounter weird things, especially when we've been in the industry for long enough. Okay.
Weather's pretty nice, huh?
Have you read today's Crystal Daily? What kind of news is that? If the media keeps going on like this, Bellag will eventually be doomed. Are you talking to me? Of course, who else would I be talking to? Do I look like someone who talks to himself in the street? It's not like that old man Dominic, which I think was the lawyer. The judge, I mean. Look at the front page of the Crystal Daily. The content that the newspaper puts out is just junk. Tabloid level stuff. What's going on in their heads? Can you really put this stuff out on the front page? I'm about to blow a gasket here. You seem to have a lot of time on your hands. Hey, I'm making a reasonable suggestion, alright? Belobog is getting better because of people like me. People who keep offering their insight. You really don't know anything. How about I give you a lecture right now? Sure. Here, let me show you how to read this newspaper. What are you doing here? If you're bored, why don't you work for Belobog's heating system and contribute to society? Why waste your best years here? Uh-huh. Woo! Okay, we already looked at the trash cans, we went over there. Novelist. Oh, the vending machine is also... Is it a separate vending machine from the other one, I wonder? Because this looks very similar. What are those whispers? Is it the trash cans? I say again? What's so special about the trash can? Nothing, it's playing Lex's character, just like me. That's a self-assessment. I'm good. I'm a good for nothing. I'm destined to end up in a trash can. Don't be so harsh on yourself. You misunderstood me. I'm pondering about life, value, and eternity. I forget to introduce myself. My name is Asmo. I write things for a living. Sorry for blocking your way. Can I help you with anything? So you're a writer? I'm afraid I don't deserve that title. I produce less than mediocre writings in a great quantity for others. A ghostwriter, as they say. I doubt if I'm qualified to write at all, even for the rubbish I produce. I wonder if he's the guy that the food critic got replaced by. Tell me about your writing. Have you heard about the Tales of Winterlands and the fiction that was recently banned? The publisher was actually quite happy with the quality and wanted the author to make some edits in the original so they can publish it again. But they did not expect the author to simply vanish into thin air. That editors had to contact me instead, asking if I can help with the project. Ha! The Tales of Winterlands is just some cheap folklore compiled together. I can give you 100,000 or 200,000 words with ease. Piece of carrot cake to me. That was my response when I took the job. You know how hard it is to finally get something going. I was just trying to impress them, but ended up getting way ahead of myself. One of the editors sent me a copy to let me get a feel of it. It wasn't until I started reading that I realized the book was going to be a classic. I had to admit I couldn't even remotely reproduce the author's creativity and style. The editor had made several attempts to contact me since, but I've managed to avoid her each time because I just couldn't deliver. How would you rate it? A masterpiece of true genius. Maybe the language still has room for polishing, but the wild passion waved into the plot is otherworldly. For 700 years, the people of Belobog have been trapped in the snow, their imagination taken away. The book reignites people's desires to look beyond the snow-covered lands. Maybe that's why the architects insist on banning it. I heard that within a month of the book's publication, the number of people that ventured out into the snow and went missing had gone up exponentially. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. But yeah, this is the guy who replaced the food critic. Sorry, I had a difficult time lately. Don't give up. Pull you up by your bootstraps is a bad phrase. Stop comparing yourself to others. Go with your instincts. No need to stick to one career path. How about doing something else? Go with your instincts. I'll become a laughingstock in the history of literature if I do that. Who's this Asmo? How dare he write this rubbish and claim to be writing the Tales of Winterland? Alright, trash can. Luggage pile was put randomly on the street. Trash can. There we go. A tracing paper envelope, black with silver lettering. If you found it next to a mailbox, you speculate that the flyer or coupon was a love letter sent to the wrong address, but this is a trash can. It reads, "Today is guardian Elisa's birthday. The recipient of this letter must forward it to 3 other people within a day, or bad luck will follow them for the whole year. You wonder what happens to the person who threw it away." My voice is starting to go from reading this much. Okay. For foodies, Belobog sausage, which type is your favorite? A century has passed since the Belobog meat factory first introduced sausages. Since then, it has become a familiar taste in every Belobog household. When it comes to eating the Belobog sausages, everyone has their own opinion. Here, we've compiled a list of your favorite ways to eat it. What type is your favorite? The first way is to eat it as is. The sausage itself is already cooked and has been processed in many ways. It can be eaten as a snack or a side dish. Its original taste alone is already delicious. The second way is to cook it with hammer peppers. The sausage can be stir-fried with many... I just had stir-fry. So with hammer peppers. The third way is to grill it. The fourth way is to wrap it in sun cakes. And over the years, upgrades to the process and machinery have greatly improved production capacity. The fat but not greasy characteristics is unique to the sausage. Its original delicious taste has been retained, and various flavors are now available for consumers to choose from. To celebrate Belobog's centenary, the Belobog Meat Factory is offering discounts on all products to all customers. Welcome to the store and try the products. Luggage signboard. You can store luggage here. The luggage will not explode. Huzzah. Another luggage pile. Coffee signboard. Right into the signage, you can drink coffee here. It's the restricted zone, and yet people are walking straight into it. I have not met the requirements to go in there. Can I spin around, please? Thank you. Trash can. You find a wrinkled handwritten flyer in the trash can. Written at the top is beautiful handwriting you see, the Rightful Rights Society. Content seems to be trying to convince people who have given up on interests and hobbies due to family and other responsibilities to join this strange organization. Members of the organization cover for one another and help each other get away from family or work on the weekends and even weekdays in the pursuit of individual freedom. They call it upholding our rightful rights. Does this count as a charitable organization? A good one, so consider it. Sometimes I wish I could spend a day doing whatever I want. By which you mean spend a day asleep in your cabin. Space anchor. Oh, almost missed that. Let's see, are we almost... Okay, we're only missing 2. I wonder where those are, because I've almost gone through everything. Unless I missed them. Trash can? 2 trash cans. One stands glamorously shining, the other lies unceremoniously rusting. You want to help it, but think better of it. Even trash cans have their dignity. Diogenes' Utopia. See what Belobog is famous for. You've obtained every useful prop in the trash cans. Oh, so it's telling me I don't have to look at the trash cans anymore? Oh, street lamp.
Come around and have a look.
I wonder where I missed the other 2 treasure chests then. Because I've gone to literally every... Well, maybe it's an area I can't access yet. We'll wait for now, then. Okay, we are inside. There's Serval. Let's take a quick glance around. Looks like the inside of a clock in here. Toolbox. Cabinet containing tools. It is said that the ability to make and use tools is the main difference between humans and animals. Nothing of importance. Okay, Serval.
The heater you saw is just a standard geomarrow radiator. They may not look like much, but they're a real lifeline to the people. The blizzards here are brutal. If we didn't have a reliable way of keeping warm, Belobog would long since have become a dead city, both above and below the surface.
What is geomarrow?
It's an ore, a special energy resource. Whether it's keeping the city warm or keeping our counters ticking, everything runs on geomarrow.
It's kind of concerning to be relying on only one form of energy.
Geomarrow grows beneath the surface of the planet, and specialist underworld mining crews are there to extract it. Transport lines shuttle it up to the surface. In the overworld, we use the same lines to ship surface goods and aid down to the underworld. You didn't know? Belobog is structured like 2 big connected discs. The overworld is responsible for administration and trade, while the underworld is responsible for energy supply and resource extraction.
That sounds like that can be abused quite a bit. Like, the unfortunate and poor would be in the underworld, while the overworld is like the nobility and rich.
However, due to an order that was given many years ago, Nobody has moved between the overworld and the underworld in a long time. Ah, I shouldn't be talking about this. Pretend I never said anything.
Again, suspicious government actions right there.
Isn't it just like cooking food over an open flame? If the house is a pot, then the heater is the stove it rests on.
When she puts it like that, it actually starts to make sense.
No sweat. This is your first time in Belobog. I just want you to feel some of the warmth the city has to offer. Hey, seeing as there's nothing on your plate just now, want to help me fix up this machine? Just a bit of manual labor. You might find it interesting.
Sure.
Great. Then let me give you a demonstration first.
Okay, rotate the modules to adjust the circuit and direct the electrical current from the power supply to the endpoint. Repairs are complete when all the endpoint circuits are connected to the current. The edges of the fixed modules will appear red when selected. Okay. Easy enough. Video recorder? An old VCR machine. You do not dare imagine what it might show you.
Nice. You guys are pretty handy. You picked that up in no time. Want to be my assistants? Average pay, but I'm a good boss.
I mean, if we're stuck here, sure.
I was only kidding. Just a joke. Well, I'd better carry on here. Why not have a better look around? My workshop will always be open to you. And your wallets, of course.
I did look around. There's not really anything in.
Strengthen our position.
I did not mean to click that at all. Sorry. Alright, so I have looked around to the best of my ability. Now they want us to go to the hotel.
So, this friend.
So tired. I just want to put my head on a pillow and drift off. Seems like the first day of our trailblazing expeditions is always pretty eventful, huh, Dan Hung?
Yeah, it's because you've got too much energy.
Wow, what a beautiful lobby. It's gonna be soft mattresses and cushiony pillows tonight. Wanna have a pillow fight later? Huh? Huh? I bet they're stuffed with goose feathers.
March. Earlier in Klipoth Fort.
Stop, I know what you're gonna say. March, you said too much back there. March, you shouldn't reveal our goal to people we don't trust. Meanwhile, you guys were beating around the bush and speaking in riddles. But check it out. Seems like we landed with a pretty sweet deal, right? We get the royal treatment, rooms in a beautiful hotel, and the full support of the locals. As far as trailblazing goes, this is smooth as heck.
Well, from what we've heard so far, the locals might not be too trustworthy.
That's not what I was going to say.
Alright, spit it out then.
Earlier in Klipoth Fort, were you paying attention to the Supreme Guardian?
Yeah, of course. This isn't my first expedition, you know. My powers of perception are sharper than the sharpest blade.
I doubt that highly. So, did you notice anything?
Nope, she seemed normal to me. She was kinda harsh at first, but she turned out to be a nice, reasonable lady.
See, I agree with her. When I left, I was like, oh, maybe she's not evil, but then we heard evil whispers, so you know.
Although, it felt like she was looking through me. As in, I know she was speaking to us, but it seemed like her gaze was fixed on something far away.
I had a similar feeling. Almost as if we weren't the only people in the room.
Do you have to put it like that? That's scary.
Why are we talking about this out in the open? We should only do this when we're in a room that's got privacy. invisible man.
Well, there's no way he'd get past Donhun's sharp eyes.
Perhaps I'm too sensitive. She did promise to help us.
No, you're correct. From the information I gathered walking around, it does seem like the architects and her are very suspicious indeed.
Let's get some rest. We need to save our energy for the discussions tomorrow.
Okay, let's go.
Is there anything left to do? We're meeting the Guardian tomorrow. There won't be any time for sightseeing.
I was very thorough. I'm still missing 2 treasure boxes, but I'm hoping that's in the area that's not been unlocked.
It was a long day today. All I need is a hot shower and a good night's sleep. Well, don't talk about it then.
Let's get to bed early and save our energy. I sense the next few days could be tiring.
Well, I'm off to my room then. Express lights off!
Without a doubt, what's in front of you is a closet. It is, based on all signals coming from your sensory organs, a perfect closet. Design, capacity, tenacity, build quality, and scent. No matter how you look at it, you can't possibly think of a better closet. Wait a minute, scent? How is a scent a measurement of how good a closet is? Doesn't matter. It smells good. I mean, you don't want your furniture smelling musty. If it smells musty, there's mold. So, and it's not an odor of typical sandwood or any other natural materials. Rather is miraculous cleansing scent that is completely artificial, a marvel of chemical engineering. It is so alluring that all you want is to get in the closet and let your whole body soak in its scent. We will resist for now, because I want to look around the rest of the room. You managed to resist the temptation, now you're better stay away from the closet. As ambrosial as its chemical scent may be, it probably won't do you any good. We will go in there in a minute. I wanted to look around the rest of the room. Yeah, see, like this. Tea time menu. There it is. Buttered toast, poached eggs, pancake with syrup, which is the brunch combo with seasonal fruit jam, a cup of tea of your choice. Due to the shortage in coffee, all menu items containing coffee are temporarily unavailable. We will provide them again as soon as the supply returns. Okay. Oh, another one. Night in fog. Alright. I lit up the fireplaces in the hotel, and the next day the entire city was covered in fog. Left on a summer night, the stars glittering like water, but snow fell from the sky. It told Leslie that he might... Oh, we have heard that name before on the station. That he might still have unfulfilled wishes. She knew what it was, but she couldn't manage it. Leslie remembered that the first time she saw Goth was at the hotel. The well-dressed gentleman looked at her with a smile, and she saw that her own reflection clearly in the caramel depths of his eyes. However, she was disheveled from her escape and was not presentable. Leslie hurriedly shifted her eyes away from the gentleman with the chiseled features, did not despise her, instead offering her a cup of tea. Beautiful lady, how can I be of assistance? The Goeth Hotel is a shelter. Leslie escaped from the mines. Mr. Goeth is very kind. The hotel is a neutral ground. For years he has sheltered the poor with nowhere to go, people like Leslie. Leslie originally worked in the mining industry. She was sending home money from her time in the mines, but then her mother died of an illness a few days after she sent the money home. And then when she went to go figure out why her mother became ill, she was hunted down by thugs. She just wanted to put flowers on the grave. So potentially that might be a, we can either rest on the bed or we can rest in the closet. Obviously we should rest in the closet. Left foot, right foot, turn around, take a deep breath. Darn it, why a deep breath? You want to sneeze, but manage to suppress it. Stand firm, and then close the door once move. Bang! Congratulations, you've now been merged with the universe's most perfect closet as one single entity. But honestly, your move is far from reaching the state of excitement. Perhaps you need more time to comprehend the subtle wonders in all this. This place might seem a little too dark for you. Guess you will eventually get used to it, right? Dark night, give to me a set of dark eyes. Haha, that's the spirit, give it more time, adapt to the dark environment. Trust yourself, just wait a little longer. Something more interesting than this pitch darkness will occur. It's guaranteed to be the real deal. Wait, did you hear that? A sound is closing in. Click, click. It's just someone walking the corridors. You've got to change your nihilistic view on life, pal. No, that's not the sound of human footsteps. That's the room service. Go wild, use your imagination. No, that's not room service, that's the hotel's resident devil. It hibernates in dirty, unattended small attics, specifically feeding on innocent and vulnerable outsiders. It picked the wrong opponent to meet with this time. After all, you are a universally renowned trailblazer, the guardian deity of the Herta space station, the doomsday beast, doom. Yep, today is the day you will purge evil from the greater good. It doesn't seem to be that dark in the closet. The light of valor illuminates your surroundings. Wow. Room service? Is anyone in there? Ah, there it is. The hotel devils love to disguise themselves as room service. Such a cliche. You won't be easily fooled by it. Your mind is stronger than the city walls built by Klypoth. You are prepared. I'm gonna come in now, okay? Now, devil, meet your judgment. Bang, the closet door slams open. Ah, what the heck? You won. The Goth Hotel's devil is now banished. This land is now purified. The devil seems to have left something behind. Take it as your reward for intrepidity. Why would I get a praise for high morals? For scaring some poor hotel employee. Well, since it says the voice of Stellaron, I imagine the Stellaron is corrupting the Supreme Guardian.
Who are you? What are you? What do you want?
Suspicious, but okay. There's nothing new in the room. I keep hitting the E button.
Hey, did you hear that?
There's a group of Silvermane guards at the entrance. And I don't think they're here to say hi.
This is our escort. It's less friendly than I was expecting.
Can't always be friendly on the job is the best one. Other than maybe they're not here to escort us?
Guess we'll have to find out.
Let's go and meet them. We won't know until we're down there.
Wait, I saw something to collect.
Hey, Commander Bronya is waiting for you all down below. Hurry up and go see her. And no tricks.
Are we in a lot of trouble?
Okay, but like, can I go back in the hotel? I saw something to collect. Let me just go back up to that room. That hallway. Yeah, I saw right here. Diary of a Civilian Scientist, huh? Here it is. Okay. We'll wait till we can read all of it. No, I'm not just saying that because I'm getting tired of reading. Psh, who tells you that? Well, it says Bronya is getting is like calling for us, and she's the daughter of the Supreme Commander who seems to be corrupted by the Fragmentum, or the Stellaron. So, potentially it could be something good? Okay. Hello, person?
It's you. You were there at the fort. I am Bronya Rand, acting commander of the Silvermane Guards. In the name of the Amber Lord in the highest, and under order of Supreme Guardian Cocolia Rand, I hereby arrest the suspected infiltrators under the charge of plotting to incite rebellion.
When did we do this? We walked around all day yesterday.
Supreme Guardian, I herewith temporarily strip you of your freedom of action and speech. When you are tried by the adjudication panel, you will be given the opportunity to defend yourselves against the accusations. Resistance will prove futile. You must come with me.
And I will break your Fabergé eggs. Come at me.
Wait a minute. This isn't what we agreed. She said we were going to be escorted to discuss an urgent matter.
This is an orchestrated betrayal, obviously.
Looks like we've been downgraded to accomplices. Again. It seems like it's every third planet this happens.
Oh, so this happens to them often.
That's because you always act without thinking. You never have a plan.
Hey, I'm improving. I'm coming up with a plan right now. And got one. Got him. Yally.
The one that's been sealed off. March. Be ready to make an escape.
Huh? Really?
It's now or never. We should probably go with them. See, on one hand, as I was stating, Bronya might be arresting us to get us away from the Supreme Commander so that she can talk to us about the fact that the Supreme Commander's kind of loco. On the other hand, I could be wrong. So, let's go!
We of a kind.
Unless we are a strange Chio.
It's an old Astral Express escape signal.
Two pair.
Hey, what are you whispering? Let's get going. Ace!
Hit him with the baseball bat.
Have an ice day. They charged straight in. Escaping into a fragmentum. I don't know if they're overconfident or just eager for death. It would seem that Mother's judgment was correct. Should we report them as missing or deceased? Supreme Guardian's order was to arrest them. We cannot abandon our pursuit just because they fled into a sealed-off area. I must ascertain their fate with my own eyes. Yes, ma'am. Eradicate all threats to Belobog's security. That is what I must do.
Uh-huh. You know that your mother is acting a bit crazy.
Ha! See? They weren't brave enough to follow us. Freedom serves them right. Better luck next time, Slowpoke.
We got lucky or great work. We'll say great work for now.
It was a team effort.
We caught them by surprise. Nothing more. They'll be in pursuit soon enough. Let's follow the path. We need to guarantee our own safety before making any further plans.
Okay, that gave us a bunch of experience. We're getting closer to that, 14 we need. Okay, so this is a new area. Where it's got a warp trotter and some... Oh, this is a big area. Goodness. Okay. And then that would take us back to where we came from. So we'll start this way.
So, what happened back there? Why did the Supreme Guardian send people
The woman had a troubling aura. Our instincts were correct.
Let's make sure we get the treasures. We might actually be able to get some of this stuff from the different stores at this rate. I bet we will run into Sir Shampoo here.
Keep up. You can fight it or rock with it. You couldn't have done it without me.
Okay. Investigate. Supreme Guardian Tatiana delivers an important speech. Brothers in the court go with mansion sealed. Temporary direwolf sighting. Supreme Guardian enforces curfew. This was in 144 after freeze. Explains the reasons after the curfew is due to direwolf sightings. The Goa family, a prominent family in Bellabog. Austin's funeral. There's a infighting over who will inherit. Commemorative speech of the 50th anniversary of the passing of the Supreme Commander Guardian Alexandria. The development of the underground mining. Okay. You'll notice I am doing a lot less of the reading than I used to. It's just so much of it, and sometimes it doesn't have... It does have lore, but it doesn't have, like, too much important lore, so you can pause the video if you actually want to read it for yourself. I'm just skimming it so that I can move on and not spend over an hour just reading like I did that one time in another video when we encountered the membranes, the memory membranes.
You can fight it or rock with it. Keep up.
Are made to be broken. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Formidable foe.
Looks good.
I love Kalis's voice. Oh. Oh, this one's for light cones. That's very useful. I need to level up my light cones compared to my characters. I will do that once I'm done. Oh, good, some health. And that up.
Too late.
Let's rock. You can fight it
Or rock
with
front. Oh, rock with it. Okay.
Couldn't have done it without me.
Controller. Oh. Makes shortcuts. Okay. That's nice. Oh, I know I've like heard some stuff about wanted posters. And so I was like, oh, but we're actually not wanted criminals. So I was like, oh, I wonder where the like maybe we picked the right choice to not become wanted criminals. But obviously stuff happens, so now we are. So I imagine we'll see the posters later.
You couldn't have done it without me.
Okay, where was I? That's where we were. Ah, nothing with the trash can. I did get the achievement, so I guess we're good there. Okay. That was towards the... well, let me check real fast. Oh.
It doesn't seem like there's any way to open this gate. Ooh, check this mechanism out. Look familiar?
I've already used one of these, though.
We saw one in Serval's workshop. We need to solve it before we run out of time. The guards are right on our heels.
I have been running around in circles. What do you mean? Okay. Okay, so that's obviously the way forward. I want to not do that, so let's go over here.
Wait, there are Silvermane guards here. Careful not to alert them.
They must have entered from another direction to cut us off. We should avoid an open conflict. Let's find another path.
Okay, so I'm not allowed to go this way. I want to open the door!
We should avoid an open conflict.
Fine. I guess I can't open that door for now.
Looks good.
Freeze!
Oh.
Freeze!
I guess I have to get a certain distance from them.
Too late.
I don't know why they're like, we should keep our distance. We can very obviously take them. That's always something I never understood in any of these games, when our characters are like so obviously more powerful. I'm just like, why run when you can take them? Looking for a friend. Read. Hello. I am a third head of a family reserved for the Otherworld Administration District's Limestone family, Wallace Cambridge. Oh, we met him. He was the one that says he's not rich. I had been living and was educated in the oldest administration for a long time I can remember. The entire 7th block has been the property of the Limesteins, therefore I've been conducting glorious combat with loneliness and most terrifying beasts for all life. Fully understand that the greater one's ability is the greater the responsibility, and that is the painful destiny the members of the Lions team must shoulder. Now I feel weighted down on my lonesome. The evil wealth piled as high as mountains, together with the immense feeling of emptiness, climbed slowly up my spine. I tried to crush me. Yes, yes, yes. Justice of Bellog, path to light, companions, to be friendly and positive, can learn to love nature and enjoy art, not charmed or shackled by the evil named money. Only someone who's rich and does not have to work for a living can say that. Has extraordinary strong willpower, be like me and making world peace with your mission. Can call me Wallace. Uh-huh. Only someone who does not have to work for a living can say such nonsense. Can I attack them? I don't see any reason to. Probably a treasure chest.
Wait, there are silver.
We should avoid an open.
Never mind. Dumpster?
Too late to repent. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
You can fight it, or rock with it.
done it without me.
Looks good.
Oh, cutscene.
I don't see a switch for the gate. Over there.
There's a monster in the area.
Open your inventory to see the consumables you have. I did not have these before. I would know. Upon use, increase attack of all allies by 5%. Confirm. Interesting. Pleasant looking trash. Sanctity of the trash can. Interesting. Use U to view the details of current status effects. Item buffs. G, consumables. Okay. Anyway. That's my health. My health is good. So we can wait for that one. We will... Ooh. No, wait. There's a southern section up here. Okay. It's gonna be like that, probably. Okay, I cannot rotate that one. Okay, we will leave that for later. Man, compared to the other outside area that's like full of people, I know they evacuated this, but it's just dead. Bookshelf. A discarded real estate flyer. Okay, this is probably from the real estate investor that we met earlier. It's the same spiel that she stated. Formidable foe. Oh, a light cone. There's level 5 of that one. Okay. We're gonna ignore the monster for a minute. I'm gonna go back to the bit with the astral point because I need the health before I go and fight the monster. How are we doing on finding stuff? Two more treasure chests and the warp trotter, and we will have found everything. I see one over there. Am I in range? There you go. Oh, something's happened in the world.
You couldn't have done it without me.
Oh, we didn't have to do a circuit puzzle for that one? Go back to Donghong. Okay, so we're only missing one more, I believe. I like how they're going so fast, but like I just moseyed around.
Really caught up with us. Even had time to set up an ambush.
You dare underestimate me?
Yeah, and your Fabergé eggs.
Even though it has suffered fragmentum corrosion, this is still part of Belobog. It was our home. The guards know this place like the back of their hand. Enough cat and mouse. Drop your weapons and come with me.
We can. We summon our weapons from midair. We can't really drop them.
Such a nuisance. Just what crime are we supposed to have committed again?
My orders are to arrest you. It is for the adjudication panel to present you with the nature and penalty of your alleged crimes.
You saw us yesterday. Do you remember? Madame Cocolia received us as honored guests. How can such a drastic change have occurred in the course of one night?
The Madame Guardian investigated your backgrounds. She summoned me last night to tell me that you had deceived her. Your identities and purpose here are counterfeit. You seek to overthrow the rule of the architects.
I mean, eventually, probably, since they seem to be bad people.
What a two-faced hag!
Publicly insulting the Supreme Guardian only elevates the seriousness of your crimes. Throw down your arms and surrender.
No thanks.
We're wasting our words, March. At least one thing is clear. We mustn't be caught.
Well, if there's no escape, then maybe it's time we gave them a taste of Astral Express medicine.
Hey, fight.
Fighting is meaningless.
And I'm assuming I can't auto battle? Nope. Okay. E.
Time for the main event.
E.
Tough luck running into me.
We'll save her E. Let's kill at least one of them. Alright, Q.
Lady Bronya.
I'll handle these evildoers myself.
Ooh, boss fight. Okay.
Just a scratch.
Fight with me.
Rules are made to be broken. Decisive strike.
Move carefully.
Gotta try hard sometimes. Check out this awesome move.
truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all.
Move carefully.
This song's just for you.
Okay, let's use E, and we will start with Danhyung because he's our single DPS unit.
You can't run! Stop right there!
Oof.
Clemency? Never heard of it.
Let's go.
You have the worst luck running into me.
Alright, we'll use it on ourselves.
How can we lose? Onward! Try that again.
Okay.
Pretty good crowd today.
The truth of life and death, revealed in an instant. This sanctuary is but a vision.
After this is over, I might either have to end the stream or pause for a bit because we have some chickens we have to bring in during the night, and we're having a bit of time wrangling them. So probably after this is done, I'll have to end the stream for the day.
Step aside. I have no interest.
This song's just
Okay, E, we'll use it on ourselves since she's attacking you so much.
Let's make it quick.
You're annoying! Fight with me. You can't run!
Always target the add-ons first.
my tempo.
My turn.
You need to use her E again.
Me out here? How can we lose?
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all.
Just a scratch.
Stop right there.
Man, she's really going after after March 7th.
This girl's pretty strong. Hey, Don Hung. Maybe now's a good time to show off your secret strength?
You first.
You're no fun.
Intruders, give it up. You will be guaranteed a fair trial.
We're not getting a fair arrest, so I don't believe that.
I didn't mean to ruin the intensity of the moment.
Shampoo!
What is this? I can't breathe.
What is this cowboy western music?
Thing to say, Sampo never lets friends who helped him come to harm. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Why are we getting knocked out then? I am delighted.
They will suffer, sacrifice, and die because of my order.
It sounds like the markers from Dead Space.
What about the Underworlders? They will lose the protection of the Architects. They will see me as a tyrant.
Why would you believe this weird glowing star, though?
I understand.
Come on, those toys of yours aren't that dangerous.
Then why hasn't he woken up yet?
Because he's sound asleep. Didn't you hear him sleep talking? Poor child. Sounded like a bad nightmare. Tell me the truth, Sample. What are you gonna do about the overworld girl?
What am I gonna do about her? Why, wait for the opportunity and send her back, together with the rest of them, of course. Hey, come on, what's with the...
Okay, this is a good place to pause. I really need to go help my parents with the chickens. I'll be right back, I swear. Never mind. Apparently they were able to get them on their own. But our girl chickens, Frances and Henrietta, were being quite, did not want to go into the coop for the night.
You're a bad liar, Sample Koski.
What? I didn't mean to bring her along. The smoke was too dense. I was in a daze. Before I knew it, I'd somehow drag her down here, too.
What are you up to, Sampo? Why do you insist on getting caught up in overworld affairs that have nothing to do with you? If it's a whole lot more attention from Wildfire you want, you're going about it the right way.
Hey now, Sampo Koski's primary concern is taking care of his friends. These guys scratch my back. How could I live with myself if I didn't scratch theirs?
Okay. He doesn't get ugly name. Well, it's not benefits, but he doesn't get called an ugly name anymore. We'll call him Sampo.
And another thing, where does Wildfire get off assuming that these fine folks won't come in useful to them, huh? You never know.
Which is why you've set them loose in the underground?
Come on, accidents happen. I'll have them rounded up in no time.
That girl, get her back as soon as possible, then don't let her out of your sight. The underground has been sealed off for over 10 years now. The children won't even remember what overgrounders look like. If a girl in a Silver Mane Guard uniform suddenly shows up, what would Wildfire do with her? What would they do with you?
Right. I get it. I'm setting off right now. I'll have to trouble you to look after them while I'm gone, ma'am.
Hey, sleepyhead. Looks like you're awake.
Heyo, we got to 14. Oh, there's a book. We're gonna take it. Musicians. Oh, we got an achievement too. Use 4 ultimates in a row. Nice. Let's look at the book. We are hitting about our 4-hour goal for today, so once I get to a good stopping point, we'll probably stop for today, but thank you all for those of you who have continued watching today. Oh, another thing. Natasha's list. Wonder if Natasha is the lady who's looking after us. To all the parents who are minors, I'm the Dr. Natasha. I know many of you are exhausted from your daily work, so you entrust your children to a character clinic. I understand how difficult it must be for your family at the end of the year approaches. However, some of you haven't seen your children for so long that I can't help but wonder about your motives. I have enclosed a list of the children who haven't seen their parents in over 100 days. I hope the parents will visit before the end of the month. If not, I will be adding your names to my notebook. Those who are in my notebook had better pray you don't get sick or hurt, or I'll be sure to take care of you using my family's secret recipe and a large dosage of compassion. Isabella, Big Charlie, Little Charlie, and Timmy. Hopefully their parents are still alive, you know. It's interesting because the overworld still talks about like the cooperation with the underworld so much, but then obviously the underworld is, what she said is right, that they've been sealed off for 10 years, unable to go to the overworld. People suffering from poor sleep. Dreams are meaningless, but dreams are a metaphor. Deja vu. Dream sharing. People are seeing visions of the past. Okay. Man, there's so many things in here. Okay. Part of the Underground Encyclopedia. Musicians, Part 2. Miner's Medical Certificate. Oh, another book. Another book. Holy goodness. Well, I mean, this is a clinic, so it makes sense that there's a ton of books everywhere. Alright, do we have anything before we keep having to reopen the bookshelf menu? Alright. Miner's Certificate. Alger, he's male. Long exposure to the geomarrow crystals. Dysphasia. Nope, I'm saying that wrong. Emotional regulation function is damaged. Hearing loss. Has been mining for 5 consecutive years. Okay. Another musician one. Oh, we got like a bunch of musician ones all in one sitting. Okay. Natasha. I had a weird dream.
I bet. You were mumbling something about Stelarons and wishes. I couldn't make sense of it. Well, now that you're awake, you should probably try moving your limbs. I'm Natasha, a doctor in the underground. You've already spent a day in my clinic.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kalis.
Nice to meet you too. You're very polite. Sampo's gone to clear up a mess of his own making. So I'm looking after you in the meantime. Based on your current state, I don't think there's any cause for alarm. You seem perfectly healthy. So if you don't mind, I'll go and take a look at the other patients.
Where's our medical bill?
Oh, please, you needn't worry. You've just been asleep for a while. I barely had to lift a finger. I might have exaggerated your condition for Sampo's years. But that guy owes me. Better bring me back some medicine.
People were following us.
Don't worry, the Silvermane guards won't follow you below ground. You've been cut off from the surface for many years. Even when things were at their worst down here, they never showed. Of course, I don't know the whole story behind why the architects ordered the lockdown. Who knows? Thanks to you, they might finally be about to lift it. Something that Wildfire's wanted to achieve for a long time now.
I wonder who Wildfire is.
Sampo just told me that you lost consciousness. He didn't say why. Still, I'll wager it had something to do with him. He's always tinkering with his devices. Anyway. The opinion of the clinic is that none of you have come to her. They've been up for a while already. The young guy with the dark hair left first. He went with Sampo. Your rowdier friend took off soon after waking up. I imagine she's taking a stroll nearby.
I imagine.
In the Silvermane guard uniform. I told Sampo to watch her. But seems that he left his post, and she made a run for it.
Who is Sampo?
Good question. He's a man of mystery. He claims to be a simple cross-border businessman. Not that there's much to interest an overworlder down here. Either way, he's got a surprising number of connections.
Our traditional smuggler with maxed out charm stats.
Secure more than a few urgent medical supplies for him, and he's been a big help to Wildfire. In any case, I don't think his intentions are sinister. It's a grassroots organization. Think of it as the Silvermane Guards of the Underground, but less stone-hearted. No need to thank me. It's a doctor's duty to heal.
I gotta find March 7th and Dan Hop. But where should I start?
I love that Kalis actually speaks. Like, has voice lines in the game. Looks like an underground fighting ring. The ones with the gloves on the sign. We're hearing just the faintest amounts of whispers. Discover the secret beneath Yarilo 6. There are people living underground. Okay, and we have hit one of these guys. Alright, so that should be a good stopping point for today. I am at least minorly annoyed that I still have not gotten enough for that last 10-star pool so I can get my freaking... so I can finally get my first 5-star. I could always use these to get it, but if you played any of the Hoyo games, you know that you should only use this to buy your limited passes instead of standard, because you get standard in the storyline as time goes. Okay, so I guess we'll have to push off another day to wait to get our 5-star. But thank you everyone who has come and watched my stream. And as I stated, I will have uploaded the first archive video on YouTube, so if you want to go watch it on YouTube, links are in my details. Thank you all, and that's not the right one. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day or night or whatever time zone you're in, and goodbye.